Hallelujah. Yahweh Melech, Laulam Melech, Israel. That's the Most High, first King of eternity, King of Israel. We got beloved Son, the Messiah, who's currently sitting at his right hand right now as we speak. Long live the King. Be right back at it with another in-depth study dealing with the 7-month feasts that are fastly coming up. Time say, she say going on, a lot of date setters to get us, stay away from them date setters. A lot of people trying to set dates. You understand? But when you get to the understanding of the feast, you understand that 7th month is when trumpets we get to blowing and a lot of things get to fulfilling. You understand? But it's not on us set dates about nothing. All right. So about to go into the 7-month feast with my beautiful rib right here, wife. You understand? Get some breakdowns on the feast in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, starting with the trumpets in tabernacle, and connecting it with the Messiah. You understand? Messianic do the same thing because there's a lot of non-anointed, non-messianic brothers. The New Testament deals with Christian sanity, and it doesn't. The New Testament does not teach Christianity at all. You understand? Any follower of Mashiach, the Messiah, should be observant, at least keeping in memory or memorial of the feast of the Heavenly Father. You shouldn't be dealing with no type of paganism, Easter egg rituals, no type of ham dinners, no type of Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Father's Day, none of it. Fake New Year's, none of it. The Most High has his feasts or his appointments found in the scriptures. All right, so we're about to deal with the 7th month feast that we are fastly approaching. I know there's a lot of argument out there about what calendar do you use? Do you use the Enoch calendar? Do you go strictly by the lunar? I don't even lip wrestle with Negroes. Like, if you feel that or whatever, hey, as long as you keep them in spirit and in truth, then from over here. You dig? I'm not finna lip wrestle with Negroes. I'm not setting up no Google Hangout. I'm not getting on debate talk for you to debate nothing. Ain't no debate. You understand? So we're going to start this off right here. Once again, all praises to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's Yahweh Melech, Laulam Melech, Israel. Honor and glory of his only begotten beloved Son, the Messiah, who's currently sitting at his right hand right now as we speak, along with the King, Maccabee, honor, humility, STL, Serene, order Melchizedek. You understand? Right back at it. Melchizedek Media will be launching sooner than later. Right back at it, though. And about to get into it. Understand? The first feast we got coming up is called Yom Teruah, the day of blasting, or the day of trumpet. And that kicks off sundown, coming up September the 21st to the 22nd. All right? And we about to go over all of it. What does it mean? What's the spiritual implication behind it? We're about to go over all that. All right. The next feast up is what's called Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement. Yom means day, Kippur means to atone. All right. So the Day of Atonement, which is a 24-hour fast in which we afflict our souls for a 24-hour period. No need to get nervous. You understand? Embrace it. If you're someone that's sick, you know, diabetic medicine and all that, you know, we ain't gonna tell you hurt yourselves, nothing like that. But for those who can, you feel me? If you can fast, stop being so scared, man. At least do something for the Most High and show them that you're down to get down with them. All right. So that's September the 30th to October the 1st, sundown. Sundown September 30th, and it ends sundown October the 1st. On what's called Yom Kippur, all right? And the last of the 7th month stretch, it was called the Feast of Tabernacles, or Kag Sukkot, should I say, Kag Sukkot, Feast of Tabernacle, right? And that's from October the 5th, sundown, to October the 12th, and then ending with the last great day of the 8th day, which is October the 12th to October the 13th, sundown, that are coming up. All praise, glory, and honor to the Most High. We about to start this off right here. We're going to start off in Colossians 2. You can grab Colossians 2, 16 through 17. And this right here is the scriptures many so-called Sunday churchgoers go to. And they feel it gives them an out from observing Shabbats and observing new moons and observing feasts. And it doesn't give you an out. Once you read verse 17, it clears it up. So what that Colossians 2, 16 through 17, what does it say?
Let no man therefore judge you in meat, or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath day.
Now, strip off there, it said, let no one judge you. It didn't say you don't have to observe it and do it. It says, let no one judge you. A lot of people, they arguing over what day you're supposed to do. Do it this day. Do it this day. Or do it this way. You understand? You got to a point to where people were cutting believers off. Like, I ain't messing with you because you believe the Sabbath new moon. I ain't messing with you because you believe the Sabbath start when the sun come up and not when the sun go down. The scripture said, don't let no man judge you. You feel me? The judgments for violating these days, the majority of them was you getting cut off from the midst of your people. It didn't say nothing about don't do it. Did you read anything about don't do it? It didn't say nothing about don't do it. It just said let no one judge you in this or bring judgment to your soul because you may view the feast days or the new moons or the holy day. You may view these things slightly different than the next believer. But this is about believers. Hold that. Jump up to verse 6 to 8, same chapter. To show you this got to do, because the scriptures ain't got nothing to do with man-made tradition. You understand? And that's the vibration most of our people are in today. They feel that they don't have to keep the commandments of the Most High no more, but then they pick up commandments of men such as Christmas, Easter, all type of madness. You understand? We Gentile, all type of madness that has nothing to do with the script. All right, so this is Colossians, New Testament. What does it say? Colossians 2, 6 through 8, I believe it is.
As ye have therefore received Christ Jesus the Lord,
yeah.
So walk ye in him. And establish in the faith. So
trip off that. As you have received the Mashiach, Yahushua, the Messiah. So walk ye in him. What did the rest of that verse say? Rooted up in what? What did it say? Rooted and built up in him. That means you have a strong foundation. What is to be built up? That means you exercise well. Been exercised. You're prepped to defend this throne right here. All right, go ahead. What did it say?
Establish in the faith. And
establish in what? The faith. Faith means belief. You feel me? The faith of the Messiah has nothing to do with throwing hog down your throat. Ain't got nothing to do with you switching the Sabbath and calling it Sunday now. Ain't got nothing to do with no Easter eggs. Bunnies don't even lay eggs. Y'all know better than that. Ain't got nothing to do with no Christmas tree, no eggnog, mistletoe, none of that. The faith of belief that the Messiah was rocking had everything to do with what's called the Torah. Was in the scriptures. That's what he died for. Those who were under the first covenant, which we are the descendants of them Israelites, man. You understand? So he didn't die for what you see going on in church on Sunday. He didn't die for that. All right, what else to say?
As ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving.
Go ahead.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
Beware, right? Lest any man spoil you. What spoil mean, love? What do you think that means? Spoil. Not like we do our little baby. What does spoil mean? Spoil mean rob. Beware, like when somebody go to war, they spoil their goods or whatever.
So spoil ain't good?
Yeah, I thought you were saying like, yeah, but taken.
Okay, taken.
Yeah. So it's saying beware lest any man spoil you or rob you. You see? Through what? What does it say? Beware what?
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
So you can be robbed of your salvation through philosophy and vain deceit. Like philosophy, like in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Wow. How long it take for you to come up with that? Like, you feel me? Fancy sayings and all that. Like, you feel me? But then those fancy sayings will take you off your pivot in dealing with the Most High. way commandments, you dealing in philosophy. You see that? And vain deceit. What else to say?
After the tradition of men.
After the tradition of men, man-made tradition will get you robbed of your salvation, because that ain't what the Son of the Most High was sent to. He didn't die for man-made tradition. He died to redeem those who were under the covenant back to the Father. That's what his whole mission was. You understand? What else to say?
After rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
After the principles or rudiments of the world and not after Messiah. You see? So there's a difference. The Messiah that we believe in and follow has nothing to do with the so-called white boy you've been looking at this whole time thinking that was Christ. That ain't who we talking about. The Christmas caroling, the old Jolly Saint Nick, the false Sabbath, you thinking you a Gentile, the laws are done away with, all that madness is what the scriptures is saying ain't nowhere in the scriptures. Even when you're dealing with Paul, that's Paul right there who wrote Colossians. He said, watch out for man-made traditions. Watch out for the rudiments of this world. Watch out for philosophy. It'll rob you. You see? You thinking the whole time it got something, like he was teaching Christianity. Christianity wasn't invented to 325 AD by the Roman Emperor Constantine. Brought in man-made traditions and started trying to blend them with the scriptures, not putting them in the scriptures. You understand? Came up with canon law, man-made tradition. It's running on automatic. Don't our people believe Jesus was born December the 25th? Boy, don't they believe we Gentiles? Yeah, so it's running on automatic. That's the whole point. Like even in the Apocrypha, it say the whole point from their law away from their covenant is to the end that they will forget that they are a covenant people. So now you don't even care. When you get told about your special position with them, what about everybody else? What do you mean, what about everybody else? You understand? You can even rule the rest of the world before you can even rest of these nations with this gospel. Look, jump down to 16. Now that we know that he ain't talking about traditions of men, you feel me? Now you can read this with an understanding. 17, what does it say?
Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink,
yeah,
or in respect of any holy day,
yeah,
or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath day.
Trip up, don't shit you in there. We are not to be cutting each other off. You understand? Because you say that camp over there teaching start the new moon. That camp over there teach that the Sabbath ain't till when the sun come up on the 7th day and not when the sun go down on the 6th day. I ain't messing with them. Judging someone. You cutting someone off because of their understanding when it comes to them trying to do what the Most High says within his covenant. With Nick Rose when it comes to, but he found the ark and what about this? Gory, man, look, I ain't, miss me with it. I'll let you educated Nick Rose argue over frivolous matters. What thus saith the Most High, according to the best of our understanding. People are because they're trying to do right. Yeah. Which are a shadow of things to come. Now, what is your shadow? What is your shadow? Is your shadow you? Your shadow is a representation of you, but it's not the very image or essence of you. Things like the feast days, the new moons, the Sabbath, they are shadows of greater things that are coming. So the very things that we do in law are shadows of things that can teach us about the coming kingdom, the future. And that's what we're going to do when we go into these feasts today. You understand? We ain't going to just show you the letter of the law and deal with it from there. Years removed from the wilderness. You understand? We're going to show you in front of the shadow. We're going to show you the letter of the law, which is a shadow, and the beautiful thing about what's coming. We'll always be observing these feasts, you understand? Because there are greater things that are coming. They teach us about the coming kingdom of the Most High. Observe. Why wouldn't you teach your children about the Feast of Tabernacles and not Thanksgiving? Why wouldn't you teach your children about the Day of Trumpets? You feel me? And the Day of Atonement. or the Feast of Dedication, or Purim, or Pesach. You feel me? Or First Fruits, or what's called Pentecost, Feast of Weeks. Why wouldn't you teach your children about that? Knowing this is what the Messiah grew up doing, ain't that? I thought everybody was trying to be like WWJD. Y'all remember the bumper stickers, right? So let's get into it. What would the Messiah do? The Messiah would do what was commanded of him in these scriptures. What do? You feel me? And make yourself more and more of the enemy of the Most High. John 2 real quick. First John 2. Yeah, finish it up. Finish it up. The body is of the Messiah. The church, the body, the campus of the Messiah. First John 2, 15 through 17. You understand? So they are shadow. The feasts that we keep, the Sabbath that we keep. You feel me? Think about it. The Sabbath you keep every week ain't the eternal rest, is it? You know you got to go clock back in Monday morning. You see what I'm saying? So that's even a shadow. Even though we keep it, it's still a shadow of the eternal rest that's coming for the children and the elect of the Most High. So it's not the very essence. What you're doing in the letter of the law is not the very essence of what it is. It's a shadow. You know what I'm saying? The path, you understand? That's why when the Messiah emerged to say, behold, the Lamb of the Most High. What we talking about? We're talking about the first fruits of many brethren who slept, who was resurrected. The same thing. The harvest is the end of the world. Told you that in the purpose. You see, so it all has a greater implication in future. That's what we're talking about. What's coming will be issued in or ushered in by the Son of the Most High, who crucified 2,000 on the Pontius Pilate, resurrected 3 days, 3 nights, and who's currently sitting at the right hand of his Father in the heavens until he get word from subdue all. That's Psalm the 110th chapter. That's Psalms 110. The Lord at your right hand will strike through kings in the day of his wrath. David said, the Lord said to my master, sit on my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. That's none other than Hamashiach Yahushua was born in Bethlehem. Prophesied about it in Micah the 5th chapter. You understand? That's just the truth. Lovers of the world. 1 John 2, 15, or the 15 for me.
Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
So the scripture commands us. This is not a suggestion, is it? Is it, just, if I was you, I wouldn't love the world. No, I say love not the world. That's a commandment. These are the things that are in the world. Our people in love, like today is what they call Labor Day. But majority of Negroes ain't even got jobs, but you out barbecuing for Labor Day. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Working all day.
Yeah, all out. See, whenever you get a Negro a day off, he gonna barbecue. That's one thing we gonna do. You understand? But we do a lot of things and have no understanding of why we do it. We just do it. You understand? We just it's running on automatic. The Antichrist system, the system that was set up 2,000 years ago. You don't ask no questions. You don't want no answers. You just want to be able to eat your pig meat, barbecue, and drink your liquor. You feel me? And go flirt with whoever you want to flirt with. You really don't want to stand up and do what thus saith the Most High in this hour. You feel me? It takes a special soul, a special spirit. Woman to say, look, man, the hell with everything, man. I'm going to do what thus saith the Most High, even if it costs me my life. That's who the Most High is looking for. He ain't looking for those go along to get along. You understand? We agree to disagree. He ain't looking for that. He's looking for those that's willing to stand up and serve him. You feel me? Come hell or high water. All right, what else to say?
If any man love the world,
the
love of the Father is not in him.
If you in love with this world, especially where we at, dealing with this so-called United States of America, if you in love with this, the love of the Father is not in you. That ain't my words. I didn't type that in the scriptures. It's the truth. For God so loved the world, right? Well, the love of God has nothing to do with the vibration the world is in today. Nothing. Go ahead. What else to say?
Verse 16.
Yeah.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, of life is not of the Father.
It's not of the Father. Everything that you just read is the spirit everybody is in. Everybody in that spirit. You feel me? That's not of the Father. What else to say?
But it's of the world.
Right.
And the world passed away.
The very thing that you in love with. The spirit that you are in bondage to. Being just a good old American Negro. It's passing away, man. This world is passing away. All right, go ahead.
And the lust thereof.
And the lust thereof. Not the love, the lust of it. I'm in desire. It's passing away. Come on, what does it say?
But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever.
But if you do the will of the Most High, you abide forever. Let's go to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Let's get into these feasts, which is a commandment of the Most High. The will of the Most High is to fear Him and keep His commandments. Yeah, you gain a lot of enemies, corner. You understand? But you become a friend and obedient servant of the Heavenly Father who created all. But the whole world be mad at me than the Heavenly Father. That's the spirit that we need to be in this hour. Understand? So let's go into these feasts. All right, 7th month feasts. Leviticus 23, read 1 and 2, and then we're gonna jump down to the 7th month. Leviticus 23, 1 and 2.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
Yeah.
Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord.
Concerning who?
Concerning the feast of the Lord.
Now, trip about this feast. You hear the word feast today, you just think, good old barbecue, show up, family reunion, potato salad. You know what I'm saying? Ice cold burr. You think of that, right? But when you get into the Hebrew, you understand, the word is moed. Moed. All right. It's H4150, and the word for feast actually means an appointment. Your doctor appointment, and time to keep that appointment, your appointment, a sacred appointment. That's what feast means. Feast ain't just like you just showing up to eat. Coming to the court of the Most High. It's an appointment that you must keep. Wait. So when you read feast, when you hear feast in the scripture, it ain't talking about hot dogs and all that. Even though you feast physically and enjoy yourselves or whatever, but this is an appointment. Drill that in your head. This is an appointment of the Most High. And if you keep your doctor appointments, you understand? If Master told you at work time and you keep that appointment, how dare you not keep the appointments of the Creator, owner, possessor, and creator of all things? How dare you not keep His appointment? More, but you keep man's appointments though. You on time for Thanksgiving. You on time for Halloween. You on time for Christmas. Feast of the Most High is a problem now. I ain't got to do that. Well, that's an appointment. Look up the word moed. And yes, it says it in Hebrew too. We read the text. It says it in Hebrew as well. All right, so let's not get simple. All right.
But what if you got a spouse that says you can't? Or yeah.
Yeah, we can't love no one more than you love the Most High.
But what about that supposed to be subjection?
Yeah, but if you when it comes down to doing that, you understand, outranks him. So even your spouse will outrank the Most High. You understand? Like if I was evil, all hell.
Not even saying it was evil.
I'm just saying,
well, you can't keep that peace.
That you have every right. You have every right to say the Most High. Tell the sisters to pray, go before the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Ask Him to make a way so you can go ahead and do that without the least amount of argument or whatever. But that's something that comes with being unequally yoked. You know what I'm saying? Like you got certain things that come up to where it's going to be rift in the house. So when you're dealing with the scriptures, matter of fact, let's go there. Grab Matthew 10. It's a good question. Good question. I mean, you got a question about if you got to rebel your spouse, right? Matthew 10, 34 or 38. No one or no thing can outrank the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're unequally yoked, these are the type of things that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You got to make up in your mind that I'm gonna do what thus saith the Most High. because your spouse don't have a kingdom to give.
What if it's a good reason why you shouldn't do a feast? It's no good reason why you shouldn't do a feast.
Nah, even if you defiled, let you know it's other days you still keep. And but there ain't no, you don't have an excuse. Ain't none. Everybody would use it if it was an excuse.
Remember, we ain't got enough money this time.
You ain't gotta. He make provision for the poor, like at the Passover. You know, if the person next to you wasn't able to afford it, you were supposed to break bread with him. Accounted for. Everybody makes their account. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And deeper than anything, it's a spiritual feast more than it being physical. It's a feast to get an understanding. Right, but just to show you that you can't love no one, no thing, nobody more than you love the Most High. Matthew 10:34. Matthew 10:34, read down 37, 38. Yeah.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Yeah.
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
I came not to send peace. That's the Messiah speaking right there. Yahweh Shah. He's saying, I ain't here to bring peace. I'm here to bring the sword out. Bet you never read that at church. Go ahead.
For I have come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother.
Yeah.
And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Right.
And the man's foes shall be
your enemies gonna be they of your own household. Testimony and pick up the testimony of the Messiah. Because you're gonna have your people wanting to do it a whole nother way, the way you've been doing it all this time. You're like, nah, that ain't what it is. It's been together 20 plus years. I know a brother, may the Most High be with this brother I'm talking about. I ain't gotta say his name. But a brother in the inbox me, matter of fact, 2 weeks, his wife finna leave him. You know what I'm saying? Because he believe in the truth now. She finna leave him. And she's like, look, it's either me or that. He like, look, I hate to see you go and all that. You know what I'm saying? But bye.
You go, but I love to watch you leave.
Hey, hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave, baby. Now you gotta go. You understand? You can't love, and that's the mindset you got to be in. You can't love nothing, no one more than you love the Most High. All right. So he say, I come to set a man at variance. Variance means opposition. Your problem if you're unequally yoked. When you come with the testimony of the Son of the Most High. What else to say?
Verse 37.
Yeah.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
You're not worthy of them. See? Who's that? There's no excuse. Like my spouse don't want me. Hey, you feel me? Yeah, when it come down to keeping things in order and all that in the house, if he told you, look, don't spend no more money. Yeah, listen, but when it come down to the service of your God, the one who put breath into your lungs, he come up short in the balance. You feel me? That love my children, love you. You know what I'm saying? But y'all come up awfully short when it comes to what the Most High say. Like it'll never be a compromise. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's work this out like this, or it's either me or him. Bye. That's what it would have to be. You feel me? Like I ain't never. Like I made my mind like that when I first got in the script. Like, look, I seen so many people falling off around me and people dying. I'm like, look. If you ever ask me to choose between my God and you, what it is, like I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? What else to say?
And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Yeah, he that loveth son or daughter, wife, sister, brother, even your own self. In the Most High. You feel me? Yeah. Okay, so get back to Leviticus 23.
I was trying to go outside.
No, it's good because some people may be going through that online though. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I would just tell whoever, you know what I'm saying, pray to the Most High that he make a way for you. And with every fiber of your being, make sure you handle that business. You know what I'm saying? Even if you ain't got a chance, even if you don't have a chance, maybe a charge. Nah. Don't got a chance to like be around everybody. You can still keep a lot of these feasts within the comfort of your own home. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, get you something to cook or whatever, go over some scriptures, replay a video and go into it. Put your headphones on if you don't want to hear it, put your headphones on, study. Most High for allowing you to get some understanding. That's what it is, right? So we got Leviticus 23, that was 1 and 2. Read that again. You said you went over feast, right? Went over feast. What verse you in? You did. You had to?
Yeah, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
That's two. Jump down to verse 23. Verse 23. Notice it said, these are my feasts. These are my appointments. In this whole chapter, you won't read nothing about Christmas, Easter, none of the so-called pagan days or idolatrous days. None of them. You Negroes that know we Hebrews, but call us brothers that believe in the Messiah idolaters. Like, bro, ain't none of us into no idolatry. What is wrong with y'all? We keep the very feast y'all keep. We just got a greater understanding of them. You know what I'm saying? You gonna call us idolaters, and we all keep Passover at the same time. Madness. All right, so jump down to verse 23. We're gonna read verse 23. We're gonna read verse 23 through 25.
The Lord spake unto Moses, saying, of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month.
And the first day of the month is a new moon. You feel me? So even though it's new moons all throughout the year, this one coming up is the main one. Feel me? Because this is the one that a feast actually falls on. It's called the Day of Trumpets, memorial blowing trumpets. So this actually is a new moon that's coming up, the 22nd, September the 21st to the 22nd. Feel me? So that's one key thing to trip off of. Notice also it said that we're supposed to proclaim this. There's the Hebrew word kara, which means to cry out, to call out. You know what I'm saying? You trip off how the heathen announce Christmas and all that. They be in July running Christmas ads. They promote their feast day or their folly day, should I say. You feel me? We don't even promote how we supposed to be in the spirit of promoting.
Like a week before.
You know what I'm saying? We a week before. You let it for everybody know on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And everybody confused because they don't know which day this camp say this and this camp say that, and everybody more confused than ever. And you supposed to be proclaiming this. Proclaiming is to call out, invite. You know what I'm saying? Summon. Like that's what we supposed to be doing. Notice it also says a convocation. Convocation, which means it's mikra, into a gathering for like a rehearsal, holy gathering, right? It's a rehearsal. What are we rehearsing for? Feel me? Coming kingdom. You see? So we got a sacred appointment, invitation, and a sacred gathering for a rehearsal. Looked at right off the gate, it should be looked at as something way deeper than what I'm reading verbatim. You know what I'm saying? Because what is it? Trip off what it is. It's a moed. It's an appointment by the Most High. A sacred appointment, right? Then you supposed to proclaim it being his children. So it's something that we invite, we summon. You feel me? We invite folks, we cry out, let everybody know the feasts are coming. The appointments of God are coming, right? Then people gather, convocation, to convoke, gather together. You feel me? Like almost metaphorically, it's like we're rehearsing something. Yeah. What's the divine invitation? You feel me? What is this sacred appointment about? They are a shadow of things to come. Judging one another over these things. The feast, we just said, y'all believe the same faith. Don't put each other off. Shadow of things to come. Bodies on the side. Listen, or you cut anybody off, you know, if they may see a Sabbath different than you. Feel me? Yeah, of course. But that's not faith. I'm saying we talking about faith. I mean, those are the same faith, no good and well. Sunday been no Sabbath. And the truth and understand the idolatry of what's called pagan church. Negro church is a joke. Every movie in Hollywood depicts the Negro church as a joke, and y'all know that. Yeah, the pastor lusting over the woman in the front row, and yeah, all type of madness. All right, so look, started at point again. What did it say?
And the Lord said to Moses, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the first day of the month Shall ye have a Sabbath?
Shall you have a what?
A Sabbath.
So trip off this. The Sabbath ain't just the seventh day of the week. Most high feast days are considered Sabbaths as well. Today you ain't supposed to be doing no work. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to be a day of reflection, praising, rejoicing. You know what I'm saying? For y'all that don't know, ain't just a weekly Sabbath. You dealing with Passover.
I thought it wasn't supposed to be like a day where you chilling and laid back.
The first day of the Passover is like the unleavened bread. The last day of unleavened bread is a high Sabbath day. In language, you're not supposed to be doing no servile work. Same thing you hear about the regular Sabbath. You got the weekly Sabbath, right? You got this right here. 7th month is a Sabbath. Don't say the Sabbath. Just say a Sabbath.
A memorial of blowing of the trumpet. A
memorial, something to bring back into memory. You can remember something that means it didn't happen before. A memorial of blowing of trumpets. Feel me? Or the blasting. It's like the blasting of the trump. We're gonna get into it. What the trumpet is used for, what's its significance, and what it got to do with ushering the kingdom of heaven. You understand? Because you keep reading, they are a shadow of things to come, right? What else is that?
And holy convocation.
A holy who?
Convocation.
All right, so it's a holy gathering, right? / rehearsal. What's so significant about the trumpet? What verse?
25. Serve our work there.
That's how you know it's a Sabbath. You feel that? Because it just said the same thing the weekly Sabbath is. You ain't supposed to be doing no servile work. All right? So go ahead. What else to say?
But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Yeah, that's why I mean, our joke was gonna be, queuing, doing that. But understand this: it's a shadow of something that's coming. What's so significant about the trumpet? Drop dead. Let's go to Numbers. Numbers chapter 10. Numbers chapter 10, 1 through 10. Numbers chapter 10, 1 through 10. And we're just laying the groundwork. And we're showing you how the Old and New Testament, when it comes to these feast days, when it comes to these commandments, these laws, they line up. It's just one is the letter of the law, one is the spirit of the law. You know what I'm saying? Torah existed before the written Torah. The oral law existed before the written law, if that makes sense. Like before Moses got any type of laws on Mount Sinai, the laws of the Heavenly Father were already in the earth. Cain was guilty of murder, wasn't he? Guilty of murder. You see? No difference between clean and clean animals when it comes for the flood. It was even written. Sodom and Gomorrah was incinerated. The unlawful act of Sodom. Way before Israelite was even brought forth. I've been in the earth. And there's many more examples. Most High brought the flood because mankind was wicked, doing all and all that. Well, that's in Leviticus about how you're not supposed to be using seeds and mixing animals and all that. So the laws of the Most High being there. Shabbat, Sabbath, was in Genesis, the 2nd chapter. Like, remember the Sabbath day? What do you mean if we ain't never had it? So, Adam passed down to that past divine line of the sons of the Most High. Oral was in the earth way before Moses had it written down. The oral law was way before the letter of the law. You understand? That's what the new covenant is. It's the spirit of the law. It's the oral Torah written on your minds. That's the new covenant, or what would be called the renewed covenant. Melchizedek is the high priest, the order of Melchizedek. Same priesthood was in the earth. Didn't Abraham bump into Melchizedek? Melchizedek blessed them, bread and wine. Same thing Messiah did at his last eating with his disciples, bread and wine. Eating is you being brought up under someone's teaching. You understand? He didn't just give you bread and wine. It's showing you that Abraham was a student, a disciple of the Melchizedek. Jerusalem and high priest of God in Jerusalem in Genesis the 14th chapter. Blessing someone ain't just you uttering words. You bringing them up under your wing to teach them, like the Messiah did with his disciples. And when it was time for him to get up out of there, he broke bread with them and drank wine. But notice he was teaching them the whole time. We going back to the beginning. You understand? Garden of Eden, we right back to the beginning. New Jerusalem. Easy work, man. All right, so where we at? Numbers 10, 1 through 10. What's the significance of the trumpet? Yom Teruah. The blasting, the memorial blowing the trumpets, September the 21st through the 22nd. You got different dates, salute. I ain't talking about that. The most high, you got brother over here. I don't know what to tell you. All right, what it say?
And the Lord spake unto Moses,
yeah,
make thee 2 trumpets of silver of a whole piece.
Yeah.
That thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly.
Hold on, you
For the calling of the assembly.
Use them for the calling of the assembly. You see that? So what are the trumpets for? The calling or the gathering of the assembly. All right.
For the journey of the camp.
And for the journey, so the trumpets are for to gather the people, right? And if it's time to pick up and roll, it's time to roll. All right. Showing you dealing with the Most High, everything was in order. They wasn't just in the wilderness hitting backflips. You feel me? Doing whatever. You feel me? Like the Most High is order. Everything within order. Rank. Order. You understand? So the gavel, you blow a trumpet. All right. For the camps, the journey, you blow it a certain way. What else is it say?
Verse 3, and when they shall believe them, all assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. If they blow but with or heads of the thousands of Israel shall gather themselves.
If they blow with one trumpet, see, they blow it differently and let you know. So if you heard an alarm being sounded, or you heard one trumpet being sounded, if you wasn't no prince, you wouldn't show up. But
when you blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east part shall go forward.
See, so it's a certain way you blow it, because a certain way you blow that trump, everybody knew what that's an alarm. It's almost like something, you know, everybody got their own theories or whatever. It's just when it sounded a certain way, our people knew that's an alarm. Time for those on the east to go ahead. Right? It was just as familiar as when the tornado warning go off. You know what I'm saying? You know that's an alarm and not no flute playing. All right, go ahead. What else is that?
Verse 6.
Yeah.
When ye shall blow an alarm the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey. They shall blow an alarm for their journey.
That's right. Go ahead.
But when the congregation is to be gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. And the sons of Aaron, the priest, shall blow the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance forever throughout your generation.
See that? Come on. So that dude, the high priest, had to blow the trumpet. Sons of Aaron, right? We got a new high priest now, though. All right, go ahead.
And if ye go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresseth you, then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered before the Lord your God, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. You
see, so this was an ordinance that went down. If we was in the land, the enemy was coming at us. You feel me? And also, if we had been obedient, you know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't have been all disobedient and then the enemy show up and you get to blowing an alarm. Most I ain't gonna fight for you.
So
yeah, you know that priest used to be at the wall. He'd be right at the wall, carrying the ark, you know, blowing trumps. You see what I'm saying? Not today, these pastors wouldn't get a paper cut on them. The Bible was rolling with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? What else it say? Verse 10. Yeah.
Also in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and the beginnings of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices, that they may be to you for a memorial you for a memorial before your God.
See, those are different reasons why the trumpet get blown, whether it's for the journey in the camps or the gathering of the assembly, or for the east side to move out, the south side to move out, for the princes to show up, the enemy besieging us, blowing the alarm. Most High remember us, you know what I'm saying? Or be with us when we fight. We did, or when it was time to gather for these solemn feasts. All right. Now, some people are like, well, I ain't really got no trumpet. Well, again, I always think spiritual as well. Each other lift up our voice like a trumpet. You understand? But he was born with one. It's called a mouth. You understand? Lift your voice up like a trumpet and declare the wonderful acts of the Most High. That's how we supposed to be rocking. You understand? So we got that, right? I need another one. Psalms 81, 1 through 4. Psalms 81, 1 through 4. All praise to the Most High. Yah. Praises to. Psalms 81. Yeah, Psalms 81, 1 through 4.
Sing aloud unto God our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the God of Jacob.
Yeah, we supposed to. That's our power. That's the creator of heaven and earth. You know what I'm saying? Why I salute a lot of brothers and sisters out there making set-apart music. Your labor is never in vain. Feel me? You should want to sing aloud to the Elohim, the power of Jacob. You should want to do that. You should be inspired with every fire of your being to praise the Most High. All right, what else to say?
Verse 2.
Yeah.
Take a psalm and bring hither the timbre, the pleasant harp with the psaltery.
Yeah, we was cold on the instruments even then. Go ahead.
Blow up the trumpet in the new moon.
Yeah.
In the time appointed.
On our solemn feast day. Blow that trumpet. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The trumpet, the memorial blowing trumpet's coming up September 21st at sundown. You feel me? It's a memorial. We're going to get to it. We're about to get into the New Testament to show the spiritual fulfillment of all these things and why we should be doing it and what we should be looking for. You know what I'm saying? So we just laying the groundwork right now. What else to say?
Verse 4.
Yeah.
For this was a statute for Israel. And the law of God.
And a law of the God of Jacob. You see that? So this is not advice. You understand? This is not something you get around to. This is like, look, this is something the Most High ordained and commands us to do. And this is what we're supposed to be doing. And as the years go on, as you practice the righteous acts and rehearse the righteous acts of the Most High, it becomes second nature to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you get better at looking at the heavenly ordinances and on what season we in. Like, okay, the morning. Okay, 2 more days, the moon will be full. Okay, new moon coming in. You know what I'm saying? You get better at that because that's what we was doing. We didn't have calendars like you got today. The ordinances are the calendars of the Most High. That goes back to Genesis 1, verse 14 through 18. Feel me? Matter of fact, please read that for me. Genesis 1, verse 14 through 18. This is the heavenly calendar right here. So no matter what day you're looking at, dealing with the Gregorian calendar, the ordinances of the Most High have never skipped a beat. They ain't never told us wrong or whatever. So if you know how to read or deal with the Most High's calendar, which are the ordinances in the heavens, the lights that he gave us for signs and wonders, you understand? It don't matter if they say it's July the 29th. You know, according to the biblical calendar, it's the 6th month, this day, you know what I'm saying, this week. You know that. You should argue that Gregorian calendar, this, I don't even get into none of that. You understand? I don't even get into none of that. We go off what the ordinances is on. It's on, and the position of the heavens, understanding we good. Now, you got some different understanding. Like I say, salute. We ain't going to judge nobody over it. You understand? Say the Most High. And don't miss the spiritual implication of these feasts. You feel me? Because ain't nobody keeping the letter of the law to the letter. Ain't nobody, the temple ain't standing. Ain't no priest, the altar of burnt offering. Ain't no priest washing in the pools of lava. Now, showbread. Ain't no priest lighting the menorahs. Ain't no priest officiating at the altar of incense at prayer time. Ain't nobody going behind the veil on the Day of Atonement, sprinkling blood on the Ark of the Covenant in the Holy of Holies. Stop it. You know good and well that whole administration has been disbanded. See, so it's the spiritual aspect of what we're doing. So now you can't keep it in the letter. Some people like, you can't keep the feet. Look, ain't nobody keeping nothing in the letter. Stop it. But in spirit, in intent of heart and mind, yeah, that's how we rock. You understand? And so that's why we need to go ahead and go over these spiritual significations when it comes to the Torah of the Most High. The Torah is spiritual, man. It's spiritual. Some of y'all so locked dead into the carnal, the flesh of it, you can't even see the spiritual implications of it. We was going over in class this past Sabbath. I know some of y'all scared of the book of Enoch, but we deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Spill your coffee, so be it, whatever. But in the book of Enoch, Enoch was going into how, man, it's over 300,000 gates of understanding of the Torah. You understand? Like, you got so many levels of understanding. You feel me? To where in the surface level you looking at. Even though every level will bring you back to the basic foundation of the surface, it gets deeper and deeper. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it gets deeper and deeper. So no need to play around and, sugarfoot with this thing, man. Some of us gonna get on the level. Some of us gonna climb Jacob's ladder. For y'all that don't want to climb Jacob's ladder, hey, ain't nobody mad at you. It's all good. Don't get mad at your brothers because your brothers and sisters decide to get deeper, the surface level. You feel me? Because this scripture is way deep, beyond deep. All right. So, all right, where you at? Genesis 1:14-18, about the heavenly ordinances. Yeah, 14-18, I believe it is.
And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
Let them be for signs, seasons, days, and years. You see that? For signals, for seasons, going back to them feasts. Seasons go back to them feasts. All right? Days and years. So that's the calendar. Calendar is the heavenly ordinances, the sun, moon, stars. For signals, signs, seasons, days, and years. All right, what else you say?
And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness.
Now, trip off there, just in case y'all thought I was lying, the word there for seasons is moedim. Moedim, the same word there when it says feast of the Most High in Leviticus 23. These are my feasts. It's moed or moedim, which means appointment. The heavens are for declare the signals and give the appointments, the sacred appointments of the Most High. The heavens do. You understand? Matter of fact, let me see the highlight. You got it over there. Oh, I got it. I can highlight it for you right now. If I can't find it, I'll circle it. Yeah, let me see that real quick. In case y'all think we be lying. We be in this Torah, you know what I'm saying, reading the language as well. Okay. Moedim, right here. Moedim. See that? Sign is a left off. Next to sign is moedim. Any of y'all that can read the language, hopefully y'all can see that. With that orange highlighted, it says moedim. That's the word for seasons. The very word for feast that's in Leviticus 23. The heavens are the appointments. Declare the appointments for the Most High. All right, you done with that? All right, let's jump on back. Going back to where we was going. We already read Psalms 81, right? And read Psalms 81. Let's show the shadow. Let's go to Matthew 24. Matthew 24, 29-33. We're going to show the shadow. Matter of fact, let's go to Zephaniah real quick. Zephaniah 1. Zephaniah 1, 12 through 18. We're going to work our way up to the New Testament. So the shadow, the spiritual implication of the feast. All right. So again, the word for seasons in Genesis 1:14 concerning the sun, the moon, and the stars. When it says for signs and for seasons, the word for sign is a left tav, which is et or at, which means sign, right? The word for season is moedim, which means sacred appointment. So the heavens declare the sacred appointments of the Most High. You understand? Now that word moedim for seasons is the same word for feasts in Leviticus 23. Same exact word. See? So again, we right on time. But if you see it a different way, hey, salute anyway. All right. So Zephaniah chapter 1, we're going to 12 through 18. What's the significance of the trump? Remember, gather together, journeying of the camps, was the east side, the south side, calling of the princes. You understand? If we had war within our land to be saved from our enemies and to gather for our feast days. Right? These are the reasons why the trump gets blown. Now let's read about the day of the Most High according to the prophet Zephaniah. Let's see if we see anything about trumpets blast. All right, Zephaniah 1, 12 through 18.
And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles.
Yeah.
And punish the men that are settled on their leave.
Going into the men, you feel me, that are complacent in this hour. This is not the hour to be complacent in spirit. This is not the hour for you to be hitting cruise control. We supposed to be going hard out here pushing this truth. Hard. Because the day is coming when the Most High going to search his people. Jerusalem is a people before it's even a place, man. We are the children of Jerusalem. And he's going to punish the men who are settled on their leads. That's somebody that's, feet up, ain't worried about nothing. You understand? Ain't tripping off the judgment that's coming. The nations are rising up, even though you see North Korea just tested a hydrogen bomb underground that triggered a 6.3 earthquake. Signs in the heavens, even though you see these hurricanes flooding out Texas, another hurricane about to hit the East Coast. You see these things happening, and you got the nerve to be arguing over nothing. Hey, look, it ain't happening to me. I don't even care. Most I say, the day is coming where he gonna search his people. And if you of the complacent spirit, you're gonna be getting punished in that day. We supposed to be in the spirit of watching and warning our people, man. And doing our best to be better than the day before. All right, what else to say?
They say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil.
Yeah, in their heart, they're like, ain't nothing that gonna happen. They've been talking about the Lord gonna return for so long. Come on, what else to say?
Therefore, their goods shall become a booty.
Hold on, their goods shall what? Or a spoil. The very things that you comfortable with, gonna be a spoil. It's gonna be taken from you. The very things that got you comfortable within your social status or whatever, within your own cipher, your own paradigm, gonna get took. Brothers and sisters that are serving the Most High, that really don't have like many possessions, they are actually in a better position than those that have many possessions, because they already used to it. They already used to, you know what I'm saying, more month than money. They already used to, you understand, I can't pay that bill this month, I pay that next month double. They already used to it. Things getting cut off and having to go for a while without having, they already used to it. What you don't want to be in is the spirit of, he ain't about to do nothing for so long. Wrong spirit to be in. What else to say, love? And their houses are desolation. Oh, look, and again, nothing wrong with having nothing, but when it comes down, Job got everything took from him. His wife told him, curse God and die. He told his woman, you speak as a foolish woman. You understand? Naked I came, naked I'm leaving. Blessed be the name of the Most High. So even if you have possessions, you can't be one that's so attached to them to where when it's time to choose up sides, you can't even do it because you're compromised in spirit. You see? Most High said, all your houses is going to be a desolation. All your goods going to get took. Right? And in that day, what do you have? Don't be a person that's spiritually with insufficient funds spiritually. Spent all your time trying to gain wealth, stacking your wealth on earth. Well, a thief can get in there and steal that whenever. Yeah, you insufficient in the funds spiritually. Stack your treasures in heaven, man. Spend your time getting down with the Most High. We need to be praying more, meditating more, fasting more, beseeching the heavens, petitioning the heavens, praying to the Most High, praying for our loved ones, our children, our spouses, all of it, man. Because we in that hour. We in that hour. All that stuff that you feel you better than somebody because you got you a job. You understand? Or a fancy house or a fancy car. Look, all that's about to get snatched. For y'all that don't know, Jacob Rothschild, the richest, one of the richest people breathing oxygen besides Evelyn Rothschild, which is his brother. Jacob Rothschild and them just sold majority of their U.S. assets. They're dumping the dollar. That just happened last week. These are the heathens that set the price for gold every morning. They just dumped but over 90% of their U.S. assets they just sold off. They dumped it. So why you still arguing over a paycheck and you know what I'm saying, or looking down on your people because they ain't as better off as you? The whole time you supposed to have been getting right with the Most High because all of us about to get took. And then guess what? The playing field gonna be leveled in that day. You understand? What else to say? Trumpets is about the trumpet. Notice the Most High ain't dealing with flutes. The day of the Lord ain't got nothing to do with flutes blowing, trumpets blowing, warning, judgment is here. You understand? So I don't know no other way. I ain't here to play patty cake with you. The truth is the truth. Get right with the Most High, get put down. And you see death happening every day. All right, we reading about the day of the Most High right now, in which he gonna send his son, who's currently sitting at his right hand, to subdue all and gather his elect.
They can also build houses, but not inhabit.
Look at that. Come on.
They shall plant vineyards,
yeah,
but not drink the wine thereof.
Look at that. As hard as you work it, you building houses, you ain't gonna inhabit that house. You ain't gonna be drinking that wine. You see that? What else? The great day of the Most High is near. Hallelujah. What else to say? And it hasteth greatly, meaning it's on the way fast. All you want. You feel me? You can argue with folk about Democrat or Republican all you want. He's a Donald Trump or Barack Obama all you want. The day of the Most High hasteth greatly. And for those of the same faith as they, hallelujah. That's what we're talking about. All right, what else to say?
Even the voice of the day of the Lord.
Yeah.
The mighty man shall cry there bitterly.
Ooh, the toughest man you know gonna be crying bitterly. What else to say?
That day is a day of wrath.
That day is a day of singing.
Wrath.
A day of joy and exuberance.
Of wrath.
The day of the Most High is a day of wrath. None of y'all, man. What else to say?
A day of trouble.
A day of who?
Trouble.
Come on.
A day of trouble and distress.
A day of trouble and distress. What else?
A day of waiting.
Come on.
A day of darkness and gloominess.
A day of darkness and gloominess. Of the Lord, or the return of the Son of God. The return of the Messiah. This don't sound like Little House on the Prairie. This sounds like a serious. Look, if you on the wrong side of that, there's going to be a problem in that day. Your time. What were you doing with your time? Becoming more and more vain? What else to say?
A day of clouds and thick darkness.
Come on.
A day of the trumpet.
A day, that's what I was looking for. A day of the trumpet. So the trumpets issuing the coming of the Lord. Coming of his army. in which the Son of the Most High going to invade with the greatest army in existence. That's what the trumpets is about. That we celebrating sundown the 21st of September to sundown the 22nd. We look forward to this day. Those of us who are striving to be down with the Most High, we look forward to this day right here. We look forward to the day that the last trump blow. You understand? And knows what kind of day it is. You like, dang, what kind of day is that you making an appointment for? It's going to be a dark day. Mighty men going to be crying bitterly. It's a day of trumpet, a day of gloominess, a day of clouds. But that's a beautiful day for those of us who are found doing what thus saith the Most High. It's a beautiful day. That means our redemption is here. And it's doomed for everybody else that ain't down. Get down and lay down. What else to say? Yeah.
A day of the trumpet and an alarm against the fenced city.
Come on.
And against the high tower. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord.
See, because we've been going this whole time breaking the commandments of the Most High. From these pig meat eating preachers, you feel me, and trusting our salvation and our souls to them. To us, you know how many times you done stiffened your neck up and said, I don't feel like it. I'm just gonna do what I want to do. My grandmama did it, my granddaddy did it. So I'm think about that. Most I say, look, I'm gonna bring all this because y'all been sinning against me. A sin is the breaking of God's law. 1 John 3 and 4, Romans 4 and 15. If there's no law, there's no judgment. What do you think he's bringing a judgment day for? Grace breaking? You've been violating his commandments willingly, non-repentant. So guess what? Judgment must come. All right, what else to say?
And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung.
And flesh is the dung is what drop out your rear end into that commode. Blood poured out as dust. Now you dealing with the Most High, man. He got the highest body count on record. Last time he destroyed the earth, he flooded it out and spared a few people, 8 souls and a few animals. Everything else had to be reserved for the judgment. And you got the nerve to think the Most High is sitting on his throne of fire, tripping off your feelings. This is serious that we facing, man. It's a serious thing. If you opposite of that, you're going down. All right, what else to say?
18. Yeah. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath.
That's so beautiful. That's one of my favorite verses out the whole scripture. Because folks actually think that they're going to be able to pay the Most High off. They think because they bank account on swole. Or they think because, you know what I'm saying, they're not financially hurting for nothing. You dig? That they're going to be straight in that day. But it's quite the opposite. Gold and silver is not sufficient for your soul. You could have been wicked as all hell and robbed everybody for the gold and silver like the Rothschilds. You feel me? Again, don't have insufficient funds when it comes to the spirit. Stack your treasures in heaven, and you do that by being obedient to the Most High. You understand? Keeping his commandments and faith of his Son. You understand? And gaining wisdom along the way. You feel me? You pass these eternal jewels to your family, to your loved ones, your children, to your wife. You know what I'm saying? You pass, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's how you stack your treasures in the heavens. Right? You pray more, you meditate more, you fast more. You understand? You beseech the Most High for deeper understandings of mysteries and all that. And then when you get it, you humble down and you teach your flock. That's what that's about, right? So that way, look, you greater off than anybody that claim they got the most money or they hood rich. You way better off than anybody. You better off than the trillionaire, the Rothschild banking family. You see? It's just what we shall be ain't appeared yet. But that's where patience come in. You understand? They know this world is going down. They're weaponizing space, preparing to fight against the Almighty. They know what's coming. Do you? And if you do, you need to get your house in order. You understand? I'm talking about your family, your house. All right, what else to say?
But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy.
Yeah.
For he shall make even a speedy riddance.
Hold on, a speedy who?
Riddance.
That means he gonna hurry up and get rid of folk. When he entered the judgment, it's a wrap. When you read that that Revelation, we talk about Babylon, he say, look at 1 hour. It's going to take Most High 60 minutes to drop this deal. You feel me? And being Babylon is a worldwide construct in which the United States plays a major part of. Make no mistake about it. You best believe this place will get hit too. He's going to make a speedy riddance. And think about this. He did that to us when we was in the land. You understand? It was like the day of the Lord to us because all the glory was gone. We was getting kicked out and thrown into slavery. Feel me? Women getting raped and children getting thrown in captivity and men getting killed. It was like the day, like, what? So if he did that to his chosen, what you fish lip heathens think y'all got coming? Unrepentant. You know what's coming. You understand? You finish that?
Of all them that dwell in the land.
Yeah, so again, the trumpets got to do with the ushering in of the coming of the Son of the Most High. But understand, he's coming with an army. Trumpets are going to be blown, right? Let's get some scriptures to verify that. Matthew 24 is what we're going next. Matthew 24. Remember, the feasts that we keep are a shadow of what's coming. Or a shadow. You say, what is a shadow? You know, put your hand up to the wall. There's a shadow right there, right? The shadow is not the very image of your hand. It's just a reflection of your hand. So the feasts that we keep, the Sabbath that we keep, the laws that we keep are all a shadow of greater things to come. They're to teach us about the coming kingdom. Everything that we read in the letter of the law has heavy spiritual significance to it. And if you are non-messianic, you ain't even dove that deep, man. That's what I'm saying. Like y'all brothers ain't even water puddle deep. Some of the stuff y'all be saying, I'll be like, man, I'm not even finna lip wrestle with these cats. I'll just do a video and drop one and for those that have an ear, let them hear it. But I'm not in the spirit of debating and getting on debate talk for you and lip wrestling with Negro. Look, according to the scripture, it ain't no debate. It ain't no debate. Without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifest in the flesh. Ain't nothing to argue over. It's the truth. And when you bring the whole volume of the book in with the proper precepts from Genesis to Revelations, man, the promised Messiah, born in Bethlehem, born of a virgin, you understand? Crucified under Pontius Pilate, resurrected after 3 days and 3 nights, and currently at the right hand of the Father is none other than Yahushua, Yahushua of Mashiach, spoken of in that New Testament. And no, he wasn't no lily blind, blue-eyed Caucasoid. Scripture tell you where he was from, out the tribe of Judah, the lion of the tribe of Judah. Woolly hair, feet so dark like it burnt in a furnace, fiery red eyes. So it ain't no debate. We here to set the record straight. It is what it is, man. We gonna drop the truth, and if it fall on your ears, repent and come on home, man. If it don't, stay on that side and get destroyed. That's it. That's it. This is like a fire waiting on you. That's all. That's all. You feel me? A fiery spot prepared for the devil and his angels. That's it. That's it. You want to accept the truth? You want to accept the Messiah? There's a spot for you. It's called the lake of fire. That's all. Fire and brimstone. That's it. All right. That's it. All right, let's do this right here. Matthew 24. Matthew 24. Matthew 24, we're going to read 29 through 33. Showing you about the trumpet. So when we observe the memorial of the trumpet, we're keeping in memory of what's in front of us. It's not as deep as what's already behind us. We already came through the wilderness as a people. It's what's in front of us. You understand? Kingdom of the heaven is on the way. The Son of the Most High is bound to return. Based off the signs and everything that's happening, based off the prophecies that's popping, the Son of the Most High got to return. You understand? But it's going to be a day of darkness. It's issuing in the day of the Most High. And the day of the Most High is 1,000 years. There's 1,000-year millennial reign coming. Right? But it's a day of darkness, gloominess. You understand? Judgment must come. So if you don't want the opposite side of that, then you need to be doing it right now. Take advantage of the grace that you have right now. You understand? And be obedient. Men and women, be obedient. Enough with the lip wrestling and bashing. How about everybody get themselves together? You understand? Enough with the lip wrestling. Time is short. It said the Most High gonna make a speedy riddance. He ain't tripping off you and your feelings. He gonna make a speedy riddance of them that's in the land. It hasteth greatly. How about we do what we need to do? Matthew 24, 29 to 33. What it say, love?
Immediately after the tribulation of those
Hold on, immediately after what?
After the tribulation.
Of those days? Now trip off there for you rapture believers. No, there's a gathering of the saints of the Most High. I'll give you that. But it ain't till after all hell breaks loose. It ain't till after tribulation. If you still got breath in your body, you're going to see that Antichrist. You're going to see that mark of that beast. You're going to have to make a stand and stand up for what's real concerning the Most High. You're not going to go gadget and grow no wings and whisk up out of it. Not until after the tribulation. That's when the Messiah is going to be sent by his Father to gather his elect. All right, what else to say? Immediately after the tribulation of those days. What else to say?
Shall the sun be dark?
Shall the who?
Sun be dark.
The sun gonna black out. Go ahead.
And the moon should not give her light.
Ah, just like everybody's tripping off the eclipses and all that. The moon don't give her light every month. It's a foreshadowing. It's a rehearsal to the day of the Lord. Remember, it's the day of darkness. If the sun blacked out and the moon ain't shining, you don't have no lights. Lights out. So now we can read what we read in Matthew 24 lines of what we just read in Zephaniah. Didn't it say a day of darkness? Didn't it say a day of the trumpet? Right? What else is it?
And the stars shall fall from heaven.
You ain't got no sun. The moon is more than likely blood red, and the stars done fell. You ain't got no light. All right? Them blood moons a couple years ago, all these are foreshadows.
What about
Yeah, you gotta go out to the country, really. In the city, you barely see them. You go out to the country, boy, it be all over the place. Not in a while. Not in a while. This is what I've heard. All right, go ahead.
Okay, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
Beautiful.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
Yeah.
And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn.
Now, hold on, the tribes of the earth gonna be mourning. I thought everybody loved Jesus. Everybody mourning in that day. Just like we read in Zephaniah 1. You see, the new, was so-called new, I don't even like using them terms, but for edification's sake, the New Testament and the Old Testament line right up. This is about the day of the Lord. You see, it's showing you it's going to be a day of darkness. It's showing you the mighty man going to wail bitterly. Did we read that in Zephaniah? But it just said that all the nations of the earth going to mourn or wail bitterly. You see, slow down. You so quick to deny the Messiah, you're cutting your own throat. All right, what else to say?
They shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. Clouds of heaven.
Yeah.
With power and great glory.
With power and great glory. The clouds are synonymous with chariots. Read that in Psalm 68th chapter. All right, what else to say?
And he shall send his angels with a great sound of the trumpet.
There go that trumpet again, huh? There go that trumpet. The trumpet is synonymous with the day of the Lord, the day of darkness, the mighty man crying bitterly, and the gathering of the Most High's elect, his saints, those living and those that have passed on. So that means we're dealing with a resurrection as well. Also, when you keep in the feast or the memorial blowing the trumpets, keep all that in mind. You understand? The day coming when the trump gonna blow. And those that are in the Messiah, whether dead or living, will be gathered to him. You see? But that's after tribulation. That's after all hell breaks loose. So now we don't keep the trumpets, memorial trumpets, in the letter like Moshe and them did in the wilderness. And like Israel did for all them years. You understand? We keep it in memorial of what's coming. We remember what happened in the past and how the Most High defended and fought for us when we were obedient. But there's that was a shadow. You understand? Like the shadow of your hand, it's not your hand. That was the shadow. It wasn't the very essence of what it is and what it means. You see? So there are greater things coming, such as the gathering of the Most High's elect when that trump blow. All right? And the nations know they're doomed at that point. All right, what else is that?
And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds. From one end of heaven to the other.
Why? Because the elect of God is scattered to the four winds of the earth. Israel is his elect, according to Isaiah 45, verse 4 through 5. Israel, mine elect. You understand? You heathens ain't that did cause all this hell on this side. You just expect to be, you understand, redeemed in that day. Now there are believing heathens, believing Gentiles or whatnot, and you got a role to play. We understand that, but you're not exalted over no Israelite, man. Y'all not even supposed to be teaching Israelites. Ain't nowhere in scripture where the Gentiles teach the Israelites. That's just what it is. Now there's a place for you within the kingdom that's coming. You understand? And those that are believers will be servants. Now, you don't like that word slaves, but it'll be in righteousness, though. Like Eleazar was a servant or a slave to Abraham. You feel me? He wasn't getting his back whipped and getting his woman raped and none of that madness. He was a servant of our God. You feel me? So he was treated like a brother. So that's for the Gentiles that believe. But for you heathens that don't believe, lake of fire for you. For you heathens that hate me and my people, lake of fire for you. And get this out your mind. Ain't no way in the world that you can love our God but hate his children. That don't even make sense. I have children. And if anybody had a problem with my children or hated my children but thought they was cool with me, they sadly mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Like, you heathens say, well, I don't like these niggas. I love their God, though. I love the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No, you don't. You feel me? It's impossible for you to love him but hate his children. These are the ones that have the blood covenant. I know a lot of us act crazy as all hell. That's the truth. You understand? But there's a lot of us waking up in this hour that are coming back to our God in righteousness. You understand? And we ain't taking no backseat to no heathen, period. No Gentile, period. It is what it is. All right, what verse you in? Yeah.
And learn a parable of the fig tree.
Yeah.
When his branches get tender and put his forth leaves, you know the summer is hot.
You know, okay, so you can look at nature, in other words. You understand? Like when you start seeing plants bud and flowers bud and trees start getting green, you can understand that the seasons are changing. Spring coming in, summer coming in, right? All right, what else you say?
So likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door.
Know that it is near, even at the door. So just like you can view nature and know what season you in, the season is moed, which means appointment. So just like you can know what season you in by viewing nature, you can view what's going on in this earth right now to know what season or what appointment we are in dealing with the Most High. Right? We ain't got too much longer. Okay, like how much better can they get even with technology? It got to end somewhere. You understand? It has to end somewhere. Like, you're going to look up and be on the iPhone 1000? You believe that? What, they on the iPhone what now? iPhone. Yeah, we ain't got iPhones. We rock with them. Got the Androids around here. You got the Androids around here. But the thing that, how much better can it get? You see what I'm saying? This thing is coming down. Feel me? If you got an ear to hear, get down with the Most High. And those we're seeing a consistent theme with these trumpets, though. It's announcing, it's bringing in the coming of the day of the Lord. Right? He's coming to gather his elect, but the nations, those that ain't on his side, those that been devouring his people, they gonna mourn in that day. The mighty man gonna cry bitterly. Feel me? So we ain't got long, Israel. You know, I know it seems hopeless at times, but our power is gonna fight for us. All you need to do is make sure you're doing what you've been commanded to do. You understand? Do what you commanded to do, man. Love your people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we supposed to love one another because we're hated by the world. Love your people, man. You feel me? We is bad enough we going through what we going through. Getting killed in the streets by each other, killed in the streets by the police. Feel me? Women don't like your own woman don't like you anymore. This is what it is. The men and the women are arguing, broken households, all type of madness, man. We supposed to love our people, man. Society, he loved his. You see? And that's what we supposed to be doing as we see this day approaching. Because we heard from anytime Kim Jong-un can detonate a hydrogen bomb underground, he just did that yesterday and triggered a 6.3 magnitude earthquake. You understand? Trump like, look, our options is off the table. It is what it is. We going to war. You see what I'm saying? We on the brink of World War III. Now what are we arguing over? Everybody arguing over what? Bill money? You understand? Arguing over what? Yeah, arguing on Facebook, on sneak dissing everybody on Facebook. Putting up what they call them on Facebook, GIFs, GIFs, and the memes and them GIFs and all that. Like, man, look, what this thing really about? You gonna be distracted by the madness, or you gonna stand up and do what thus saith the Most High, so you can be spared in that day, so you can be the one being gathered by His angels, the elect. So you say, well, dang, okay, the trumpet blow and we get gathered. Then what happens to all this? Like, what's all that about, right? Let's go walk it on down. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 4. 1 Thessalonians 4. 1 Thessalonians 4, 12 through 17. This is scripture that the so-called Christians love to go to claim there's a rapture. Now remember, Matthew 24, we just read, said after the tribulation. That's backed up by Timothy and all that. Timothy, yeah, that's fine. But notice we read after the tribulation of those days. So there is no pre-tribulation rapture. You might as well get that out your mind. There's no such thing. After the tribulation. Why do you think the Messiah constantly says those that endure to the end shall be saved? Endurance. You have to get to the end of this thing, man. Thessalonians 4, 12 through 17. We got to get through the end of this thing. You know what I'm saying? Before Messiah is sent with the greatest army ever to gather his elect. Be gathered, yeah, but that's after the tribulation, after the last trump. So we're going to read us being gathered, us being caught up in the earth. You feel me? Because that's where they going to go to. But they still missing words like at the trump. Trump. What's the trump? Memorial blowing trumpets all about. When is the last trump? When y'all write these scriptures down, you just line them up. If any of your people still believe in that rapture. Because truth be told, they should have been gone up out of here. You should have been sprouted wings and go gadget up out of here. But you still heard. I mean, somebody lied to you about this rapture. That means you finna have to face, after the revelation say, will be on the earth. Huh? Most High, if you ain't got the seal of God in your forehead, knowledge and spirit of the Most High, it's not. You're going to lose it. Stack your treasures in heaven. Earth, not below. It's for on a whole metaphysical type. This will be your head. If this is you and this is your body, this will be heaven. Everything for your carnal desires and pleasures. Everything that you getting to fulfill your carnal desires. You understand? Full of seeing, and the ear is never full of hearing. You're never satisfied. All rivers run into the sea or the ocean, but the ocean is not full. You understand? Say that in Ecclesiastes. No matter how much money you get. Floyd Mayweather probably already not even satisfied that he won that fight a couple weeks ago. He got his little 300 million. Okay, now what? He like, dang, that desire went away. That was fulfilled and it went away quick. You see? Because it's just temporary, man. It's just temporary. Again, metaphysically, if this is your body, then this would be heaven. This is called your temple, ain't it? Ain't this where the Most High meet with man at, right here? Ain't this where you get inspired at, right here? All right, well, stack your treasures up here, man, not on earth. Be looking for the treasures that will help elevate you spiritually, that'll help your people eternally. You feel me? Not something to fulfill your lower self, your lower carnal nature and lust, man. That's temporary. Once that's fulfilled, you're going to be looking for something else. All right? All right, so look, where we at? 1 Thessalonians 4, you got that? Again, going over the trumpets. Let's get it, 12 through 17.
Ye may walk honestly toward them that are without, that ye may have lack of nothing.
And that was Matthew 24, verse 29 through 33, after the tribulation of them days. After tribulation is when the saints or the elect of the Most High will be getting gathered. Matthew 24, 29 to 33. You're in 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 12,
Yeah.
13 for me.
But I will not have you to be ignorant.
Yeah.
Concerning them which are asleep.
Hold on. So those that are asleep, I'm about those that have passed on already. All right. What else to say?
That you sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. Jesus died and rose again. Which are asleep. Okay. Jesus died and rose again. Even so, them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with.
That's going into resurrection. That died in this truth. When the Messiah makes his appearance, when he makes his return, they will be appearing with him in glorified bodies. You have a physical body and you have a spiritual body. You have a spiritual body. Right? So he's saying, look, don't sorrow as those that don't have hope. If they died in this truth, they return with the Messiah. It's called resurrection. All right, come on, what else to say?
For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them.
Words, those, if you make it to see the return of the Son of the Heavenly Father, you won't be gathered to him before those who have already laid their life down and gave their testimony. That's all I was going into. We 11, we see that those that came before us, that died in the truth, they get their glorified bodies before we do. They get gathered to him before we do. All right, what else to say?
For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven.
So the Lord himself shall descend from heaven. That Lord is the Messiah. The Lord sitting at the right hand of Yah in the heavens, who will strike through kings in the day of his wrath. Psalms 110, verses 1 through 5. The Lord himself shall descend. Go ahead.
From heaven with a shout.
With a who?
Shout.
A whisper.
Shout.
Fancy soliloquies.
Shout.
A shout. Go ahead.
Archangel.
With the voice of the archangel. So the angels ain't little white babies and huggies flying around. Mighty, powerful, angelic beings, man. What else to say?
And with the trump of God.
There go that trump again, huh? So for the Lord himself going to descend with the shout, the voice of the archangel, with the trump of Yah. This is about the gathering of the Most High's elect. The resurrection of the dead. So we all can receive our glorified bodies. And guess what? Rule this earth. This ain't got nothing to do with no rapture. Nothing. The word rapture ain't even in the Bible. For y'all that don't know. Gathered, but notice the trump. Sit down. And you're going to see this going to be the last trump. When the trumpets start getting blown, you're going to see at the last trump is when all this happens right here. We get gathered to him at the last trump. But that's after tribulation. All right, what else to say?
And the dead in Christ shall rise first.
That's right. Come on.
And we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds.
Yeah.
To meet the Lord in the earth.
Yeah, the clouds are synonymous with the chariots. Who make it the clouds his chariots. Psalms 104, verses 3 through 4. Yeah. Psalm 68, verse 11 through 17. Goes to the chariots of the Most High. How many thousands they are. So we're going to be caught up in the earth to meet them. You feel me? They think this talking about some rapture before tribulation break loose. No, it ain't. Resurrection and gathering of the saints, so the saints can be given their glorified bodies. Did we just skate in the earth and just live in the earth? as we keep reading and bring the proper precepts, you're going to see now we come to the earth. Our glorified bodies, and now it's only crack. Yeah. What else is say? Mm-hmm.
Verse 18.
Yeah, verse 18. Go ahead.
Wherefore conquer one another with evil.
All right, look, let's go to 1 Corinthians 15 next. Trumpet is all about the gathering of the Most High's elect, announcing the day of the Lord. Wail bitterly, nations are gonna mourn. Those of that's his elect, and we're gonna rejoice. 15. 1 Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians 15, we're gonna read 37. And read 37, just read down. Read on down. But we're gonna see the same level. We'll keep seeing Trump dealing with the resurrection, Trump dealing with the day of the Lord. The trumpet. I'm talking about Donald Trump. 35. 1 Corinthians 15, 35 on down. Memorial blowing Trump is really about. What understanding you got so far? Yeah, what it's about?
Coming up, the gathering of the people.
We'll be gathered, and once we get this understanding right here, we're gonna be getting our glorified bodies. I mean, think about it. The dead gonna rise first. They're gonna be rising, looking like Walking Dead. You feel me? They getting immortality and all that. And see, so the so-called Christians will read that 1 Thessalonians say rapture, but that's what the word said. Before, immediately after the tribulation of those days, trumpet, he's gathering the elect. Or same thing. Line up with Zephaniah 1. That thing about how people gonna be dwelling in darkness, the sun gonna block out. Anybody claiming they the Messiah while the sun in the sky, they a liar. It's light. You feel me? Moon supposed to lose its light, and the stars supposed to fall. Anybody claiming they the Messiah for you to get your kneecaps dusty, they a lie. Their breath stink. They're lying. Just what it is. All right. So now we got 1 Corinthians 15. Let's get 35. And see, it's all consistent. All this got to do with the trump that's coming up, memorial blowing trumpets, starting September 21st, sundown, to September the 22nd, sundown. You feel me? Salute to all the elect of the Most High, man. You understand? The elect of Yisrael. As I heard in sincerity and truth, trying their best to get it right. It's just what it is, man. What thus saith the Most High. We may look at things when it comes to these feasts a little different, but according to Colossians, you say we ain't supposed to judge nobody in that. Meaning we ain't supposed to be cutting each other off because of that. Because that was the judgment. If you don't do it like this, you get cut off. We ain't supposed to be cutting each other off because of that. Trying to do what thus saith the Most High. Who am I to say, brother, you wrong? You're trying your best to be right, as we are. You understand? So salute, salute. Anybody in the season, get down, salute. Close that door. 1 Corinthians 15. Close the door. 1 Corinthians 15, start 35.
But some man will say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come? That which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die.
All right, so somebody will ask about the resurrection. About the resurrection, he say, well, look, he called him a fool, didn't he? But it can't be quickened or made live unless it dies first. What do you mean? Like, don't you put a dead seed in the ground in order for whatever to pop up, whether it's an apple tree or bananas or whatever, in order for something living to pop up, something dead had to be buried first. Same with the resurrection. All right, come on.
And that which thou sowest not that. So it's not that body that shall be, but bear grain.
Yeah.
It may chance a week or some other grain. But God giveth it a body as it hath pleased him.
God giveth it a body as it hath pleased him. Right? So even though you bury a kernel, a seed in the ground, it don't resurrect the kernel or seed. Life comes out of it. It's the same thing with the resurrection. So all you're doing is going into the resurrection. And even though you may be planted in that earth, as corruptible flesh, what's going to sprout out? Feel me? Well, it's going to give life, everlasting life. And it's not the same form. You feel me? Like the seed go into the ground, but it don't come up a whole bunch of seeds. They come up as fruit. See? Same with you being buried into the ground.
And to every seed his own body.
Every seed is who?
His own body.
That kills reincarnation. Kills it. Every seed his own body. All right, go ahead.
All flesh is not the same flesh.
That's right.
There is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. Birds get
We'll get into that. Go ahead.
Celestial body and bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial is one. The glory of this terrestrial is another.
So different glories. You feel me? Like your glory is different than the glory of the stars and the moon and the sun. All right, what else to say?
There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. But one star different from another star in glory.
Yeah.
So also is the resurrection of the dead.
Come on.
It is sown in corruption. It is raised in incorruption.
So when you go into the ground, you go into the ground corruptible, but it's raised incorruptible. Notice it said those that are dead in the Messiah shall rise first. So they're being raised what? Corruptible or incorruptible? They're being raised up. They're being raised up incorruptible. You see? When you read through the scriptures, you got to have a gift of what's called extrapolating. I mean, you're pulling as much as you can out of each verse. You know what I'm saying? Because if we read about the resurrection in Thessalonians, right? Dead in Hamashiach shall rise first, right? Paul wrote Thessalonians. He also wrote Corinthians. He's going deeper into the resurrection right here and was saying what? It is sown in corruption. It is raised in incorruption. So that would apply for them in Thessalonians too. They would have to be raised incorruptible. Exactly. So they're meeting the Messiah in the earth to receive their reward, which is their immortality, their incorruptibility. You know what I'm saying? Make sense? All right, what else is say? What else is say?
Okay, verse 43. It is sown in dishonor. It is raised in glory.
Yeah, come on.
It is sown in weakness.
Yeah.
It is raised in power.
That's right. So you're going to have a glorious, powerful, incorruptible body if you find work. Who don't want that? See what he mean by stacking his treasure in heaven? Who don't want a glorious, incorruptible, powerful body? In which Adam and Eve had before they transgressed. What else to say?
It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body.
Who don't want a spiritual, powerful, incorruptible, glorious body? Okay, come on.
There is a natural body. There is a spiritual.
It is. It is. You have a spiritual body waiting on. You have a spiritual body waiting on. You understand? Your original essence. We just Hebrew. We just passing through. That's what Hebrew mean, to pass through, to pass over, to cross over. Now I'm just passing through. This whole existence is temporary. It's just temporary. It's not eternal. What else is say?
And so it is written, was made a living soul.
Yeah.
The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
Dealing with the Messiah, a quickening spirit, a live, powerful spirit. All right, what else to say?
Howbeit, that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural.
But that which is what?
Natural. That
which is natural. That's why we go through what's natural first, because of the original transgressions of our parents in paradise. All right, go ahead.
And afterward, that which is spiritual. The first man is of the earth. The second man is the Lord.
The second man is that's the Messiah. The second man, or Adam, is the Lord or the Master from heaven. Come on.
As is the earth, such are they also that are earthly. And as is the heavenly, such are they also.
Yeah, come on.
And as we have borne the image of the earthy, we shall also bear the image of the heaven.
We shall bear or carry the image of the heaven. You see what's coming to us? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. What's coming to us is we're going to be holding or be carrying the image of the heavens, in which you were originally created in. You were created powerful, immortal, glorious, and incorruptible. You know what brought all this on? Us going against the command of the Heavenly Father. That's what brought all this on. That's why we go through what we go through now. You see? We got a date with the worms. You feel me? Unless you make it to see the return of Hamashiach, in which you still got to put this off. You still got to put it off. All right, what else to say?
And this I say, brethren,
yeah,
that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
Neither the corruption inherit incorruption.
That's why Adam and Eve had to get put out of paradise. They were in the kingdom of Yah, mortality and eternity. They had to get put out. Flesh and blood can't inherit this. They lost their glorious light bodies, you understand, when they transgressed against the Heavenly Father and took on what's called this flesh right now, these coats of skin, this flesh, in which is corruptible and which must turn back to the dust. Yeah. Come on, what else to say?
Behold, I show you a mystery.
Oh, which means something that has to be searched out, right? A mystery. Go ahead.
We shall not
all or die. All of us ain't gonna die. All right, go ahead.
But we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. At the last trumpet.
At the who? There go the trumpet again. In the moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. Which you is more blowing trumpets is about. Huh? The elect, the dead in Christ or Hamashiach, receive their power for his body. Trump, though. Descriptions show what's the first trump and what's the last trump. See? Ain't no pre-tribulation rapture. Rapture ain't even in the Bible. To the Most High will be gathered to him at the last trump. And everywhere we read about the day of the Most High, we read about resurrection, we read about the gathering of the saints, we read about trumpets blown. Your trumpets coming up. Hallelujah. I pray I'm found worthy in that day. All right, what else to say?
For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible.
And the dead shall be raised incorruptible. We read that in 1 Thessalonians 4. The dead in the Mashiach shall rise first. But they shall be raised in incorruption. Powerful, glorious, spiritual, incorruptible. So ain't no need for us to sorrow about our brothers and sisters that have passed on. You understand? That held this testimony before us. Right? Ain't no reason to sorrow. Look, they ain't sinning no more. You know that much. Their work is done. They just waiting on their reward. What else to say? We shall be changed. See? In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. They say that verse in scripture all the time as well. I mean, in church all the time as well. But nobody ever raised their hand and say, Pastor, what's the last trump? Is the trump a trumpet? And if so, what's the last one? What's the first one? How many are there? You don't even get to ask them no question. You still believe this is talking about a rapture that's going to take place because you don't deserve to go through no tribulation, even though everybody who walked this path from the prophets of old down to the Messiah and even his disciples had to be persecuted for this. But you as a Johnny-come-lately slave Negro in America ain't got to be persecuted for this testimony right here. We done became vain, man. That Christianity has put a spell on our people, man. Y'all need to come up out them whorehouses and repent. And start studying this word for what it is. The Bible is the truth. Period, point blank in the story. The doctrine of Christianity ain't nowhere in the Bible. You feel me? And if you're under that vibration, you are currently an enemy of the Almighty. Period, point blank, end of story. I don't know other way to tell you. You're in violation. Why? Because you're not keeping the commands of the Most High. That's first and foremost. Two, the Christ they sold you ain't the Christ of the Bible. So you are presently involved in what's called idolatry. And the Messiah did not die for no idolaters. You can repent from idolatry and come into the truth, come into his marvelous light. Presently, if that's the vibration you're under, you're an enemy of the Almighty.
This corruptible must on incorruption.
This corruptible must put on incorruption.
And this must put on immortality.
So must put on incorruption. Mortal must put on immortality. That's why in 1 Thessalonians 4 it was saying we need him in the earth. Reward. You got to put on immortality. You got to put on your corruption. You have to. Because the kingdom he's coming with, this won't be allowed in there. Along with the carnal thoughts. Everybody be having the backbiting, slandering. I was telling y'all all that Facebooking, all that social media, you on there dropping script, you on there just lip wrestling, talking bad about folks. It's time out for all that. It seals right with the Most High, because the day is coming where it's out. It's out. And if you on the opposite side of that, there's going to be wailing, weeping, and gnashing of teeth that day. I'm trying to get right with my power. The right side. All right? Just because you know what day the Sabbath is and you don't eat pork no more, don't guarantee you getting in. Things we got to wrestle and battle with, starting with them thoughts. Sabbath is, but still wicked. No more, but you still are being conquered by your lower self. Yeah, the war still remains. Acknowledge what day the Sabbath is and don't eat pork no more. And we Israel, Deuteronomy 28, and that's basically Israelite 101. Reach back and help our brothers and sisters who have, now getting on that level. But for us that's been around, supposed to be climbing Jacob's ladder. You brothers are supposed to be increasing, you brothers and sisters. Towing off, circling the drain. You're supposed to be increasing in knowledge. You feel me? In revelation of the Lord. You're supposed to be increasing in that. Being stagnant, not circling the drain, not plateauing off. Sabbath day is nigh, and you don't eat no pork no more. But this war is way, way more serious than that. Right? So if you've been around for a few years, you're supposed to be increasing. And I finding out we always here to help you. We got all type of archaeology and run through Deuteronomy 28, which you take our time, show you the Israelites and all that. Time to increase. That's where we at. It's time to level up, man. We on the brink of World War III, and we still on Facebook arguing about nothing. It's time to get it right and get left. With the scripture, take it up with the Most High. Yeah.
Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Shall have put on incorruption. Shall have put on immortality. Pass the same that is written. Death is swallowed up in victory. Mm-hmm. O death, O grave, where is thy victory?
Yeah.
Is sin.
Yeah.
And the strength of sin is the law.
Strength of sin is the law, man. You want to be strong against commandments, you got to know the laws of the Most High. And stand on it. You understand? Just because somebody knock at your door with a whole bunch of 61-inch flat screen TVs and say they're all yours for free, don't mean you receive stolen property, do it. You slam the door in his face and say, get off my porch. So when the enemy comes to tempt, because you're going to be tempted. When the enemy come in to tempt you, you understand, you got to stand up here and fight against that. Say, for getting to the kingdom of heaven. Get behind me, no adulterer, get into the kingdom of heaven. You and Mrs. Jones shouldn't have no thing going on. She's a Mrs. You see that? That's adultery. So it's time for us to stand up and fight. He gave us the weapons to fight against iniquity. We playing around, knowing the trumpet's about to blow. Knowing that the dead and the Hamashiach about to be risen up. The elect about to be gathered to him. That we so used to seeing, the sun, moon, and stars about to black out. Knowing that we on the brink of World War III. About to get a righteous kingdom. You understand? We still in our flesh arguing about nothing. Well, miss me with it. Miss me with it. It's time to level up. Let's just say love.
But thanks be to God, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Our
Lord Mashiach, the Messiah. Go ahead.
My beloved brother.
Yeah.
Be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord.
So be steadfast, unmovable. Being that all this is coming, you're supposed to be steadfast. You got a foundation, unmovable in your feelings. Always abounding in what you want to do. It said always abounding in the work of the Most High. Supposed to be doing this right here. You understand? So they can be prepared for that great, glorious day. All right. What else to say?
For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
All right. So look, we see we got our glorious bodies. We see we get caught up with the Most High. Messiah shall come with him, so no need for us to sorrow, right? Lord, day of darkness. I need Joel chapter 2. Joel chapter 2. We get caught up in the earth. We receive our immortality. Glorious, powerful, incorruptible, spiritual bodies. Do we stay in the earth? See, the rapture don't link these precepts up so you can know what time you are in and to know the rewards you got coming. Chapter 2. This is about the day of the Lord again. And again, we're going over the trumpets. Trumpets start September 21st at sundown and lasts to September the 22nd at sundown. It's one day. Spiritual connection between the trumpets of the Most High that we literally were doing in what's called the Old Testament. In of the Son of God, and he bringing his kingdom, gathering his elect, resurrecting dead, and bringing that war to these nations. You understand? That's why you think the nations are angry. Why you think the tribes of the earth are mourning and going wail bitterly? Why you think all this gonna happen? Do you wail and mourn because of good news? It'll be good news for them. It'll be good news for us, the elect. You understand? But we got work to do out here, man. Feelings out of it. Your feelings ain't stopping the day of the Lord. It's gonna be a day of darkness. You think you can poke your mouth out enough for it to not be dark? It's gonna be dark regardless. All right, Joel the second, real talk. Joel the second chapter, 1 through 12, 1 through 11. And again, you're supposed to raise your children so they can understand these feast days of the Most High. Christmas and Easter ain't in the Bible nowhere. Negroes need to get off there before they get put down. Those are rituals to another God that has nothing to do with the God of the Bible, period. In the story that hurt Negroes' feelings, hey, swallow it down with your meat and eggs. The truth is the Most High has his feast days that we all supposed to be doing. World War III with Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un about to go head up. What are you doing? Painting a little witch face on your baby for Halloween. A heart to stand up and do what thus saith the Most High. It's time for us to get right, man, to get left. 1 through 11 real quick.
Blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
Blow ye who?
The trumpet in Zion.
Wow.
And sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
Is this trumpets again? Trumpets again. Go ahead.
Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
So we're saying earth or land need to be trembling. Day of the Most High. We got trumpets, and we got the people that's against the Most High trembling. Just like we had in Matthew 24. Just like we had in Zephaniah chapter 1. Trumpets blowing, day of the Lord, right? Well, let's see who with them.
A day of darkness and of gloomy.
That day is a what?
A day of darkness.
Which lines up with Matthew 24 because the sun gonna black out, moon not gonna give a light, stars gonna fall, right? Lines up with Zephaniah 1, it said the same thing, a day of darkness, a day of gloominess. How we precepting everything together? You got the trumpets blowing, you got all this happening. Not a little house on the prairie. It's not like daddy's home. Well, sir.
A day of clouds and a thick darkness.
Beautiful, come on.
As the morning spread upon the mountains. And ever the light. Neither shall any more after. Even to the years of many generations.
Now we talking about the day of the Lord, and then they go right into people that are with the Lord. The great people. Never witnessed a people like this. So what kind of people are these? Yeah, what kind of people are these? I'm asking you. They with the Lord, the trumpet done blew. The who? There you go.
You got the angels with you, right?
Yeah.
Them gonna be the angels.
Yeah, you got the angels, you got the saints. You feel me? You got all those, and then everybody gonna be playing their position. But trip off that.
So they be coming back.
If the lot fall on you feel me? If the lot fall on you to be a part of that hit squad, hey, all praise. You understand? Notice in the Matthew, I believe it's 29, the Messiah say in the resurrection, they are neither married nor given in marriage, but are made like unto the angels. See? They go into 7 women taking hold of 1 man. If you are alive, you be immortal, but with the ability to reproduce, like Adam and Eve. On and get resurrected, you made like unto the angels. Like the lot don't fall on you to reproduce. You feel me? You're doing angel work. You got other things you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So all these groups of sons of God are gonna be with the Lord in that day. You got your angels, you got your dead in Christ, and you even got those being gathered to him. The world ain't never seen these type of people. Glorious, powerful, spiritual, incorruptible, and immortal. And you caught it. That's why I went everywhere else first. Show, you know what I'm saying? That way when we get to this Joel, when they say it's the day of the Lord, we see trumpets, we see it's dark, but then we see a great people set in battle array. Nobody ever seen no people like this before. These are the people that have received their glorious bodies. All right, what else to say?
A fire devouring before them, and behind them a flame burning.
Yeah.
As the garden of Eden before them.
Right. All right, so everywhere they came is destroyed. Everywhere they go, they hit squad of the Most High. They destroyed all that. But in front of them is paradise. It's everything they destroyed. You feel me? That's real.
Yeah.
Nothing shall escape the army of the Most High.
The appearance of them is the appearance of horses.
Yeah. So just out the day dealing with like all the cars and all that. It's just metaphorical talk going to how powerful we are.
Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, shall they leap.
So our leaping ability is gonna be uncanny. Like a lot of these movies you got out, the Avengers, the X-Men. Okay. All these movies that you got these so-called with supernatural ability. There's a if you ever read, for y'all online, if you ever read the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, you can get like in the pseudepigraphers and all them. It goes into the sons of Jacob and their abilities that they had. Some of us believe, that I study with, some of us believe that they get all the ideas for these comic book heroes and all that. Batman, the Hulk, any of them. You feel me? Watch all the Avenger movies, watch all these supernatural movies, X-Men and all that. They get all that about our forefathers. To the faithful and the Most High. More now than ever to do what we know we're supposed to be doing. Nothing wrong with being obedient. Is everything right with being obedient? Obedient to your Father, man, there's a great reward coming for us. Got to endure to the end and get it. All right, what else to say?
Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leave.
Yeah.
Like the noise of a flame of fire that devours the stubble. As the strong people said in
strong people said in battle array. This is Lord in that day. This is trumpets blowing, right? He dead being resurrected, gathered, day of darkness. Most High, did they stay in the earth? That was gathered to the Messiah, stay in the earth, or did they receive their immortal bodies, their powerful bodies, their glorious bodies, the earth? See? Okay, so you get caught up to receive your proper reward. Now it's time to conquer. What's that?
Before their face much pain.
Yeah.
All faces shall gather black.
Yeah.
Mighty men. Fall like in war.
We shall run like mighty men. We shall climb the wall like men of war. You see that? You see what's coming to these? Kicking while we down right now. We ain't got our power. That's the power that's coming though. The so-called Hebrew man is not respected right now. Manifested. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it be hard for the brothers because we know what's coming. And we be like, you know, we want that respect and honor now, which it should be. The reason why on a large level respected the way they should be respected is because no one sees the power. Y'all be careful because that power is coming. What we reading about will come to the faithful of God. You understand? That day, you feel me? The one that was just getting over because you knew he ain't have it at that time. You understand? Back to the men of God. He will have it. You feel me? And which is women that feel beyond protected by him. Right now, our women don't feel protected. All the time, they don't feel protected. You understand? They like, dig, yeah, I mean, scripturally, I know I'm supposed to respect you. And when they come down to it, they don't feel protected by the men. Because there ain't no power there right now. And to which I feel like that again. Don't worry about nobody coming in Sandra blanding you with none of that. It's like in a pack of lions, a hyena wouldn't dare skip through the streets chilling. See, right now, one white man or one Arab can walk right in the middle of your hood. Say nothing. Because you ain't got no power. You understand? And I know it hurt at times. But those that know better, y'all better start respecting these princes of God now. Right there is fastly approaching. You understand? And he will have his power back, and he will be Yisrael. He shall be a prince of the power. You have power with God and man and have prevailed. And that's what's coming to the faithful elect. So what's time for us to get it together? Even though it don't appear yet what we shall be, it's coming. Don't use that as an excuse not to get in order. I'm talking to the sisters. No excuse not to get in order, especially if you got a man that's trying was righteous. You mumbling under your breath and doing none of that. No, let's get in order so our prayers don't be hindered.
And they shall march everyone on his way.
Yeah.
They shall not break their ranks.
That's right. Come on. Come on. This is an army. Come on.
Neither, I'm just like, shall one thrust another.
Mm-hmm.
They shall walk everyone in his path.
Mm-hmm.
They shall fall upon the sword. They shall not be moved.
All right. So if they fall upon a sword or get hit with one of these weapons and they're not wounded, what? They're incorruptible. They're immortal. So they're going to be fighting You know what I'm saying? It's going down. You know, the nations are weaponizing space right now. They ain't even seen yet because they feel they'll be able to stop this right here. It'll be like a dud on the 4th of July. Back when we was in the world celebrating July. You feel me? But that's the pride of the devil. Those that serve him. Yeah, we know what the books say, but we gonna write our own book. Devil's advocate. He was like Al Pacino. He said, "Look, in the end, we lose. You lose. We're gonna write our own book." We got them convinced that be able to win and thwart prophecy, but it'll never happen. All right. So what else to say?
They shall, okay, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
To and fro in the city.
Right.
They shall run upon the wall.
Mm-hmm.
They shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
Oof.
For them.
Yeah.
The heavens shall tremble. Shall be dark. Draw their shine.
Yeah.
Heard his voice before his army.
And before his who?
His army.
That's beautiful. Come on.
For his camp is very great.
Mm-hmm.
For he is strong that executed his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. And who can abide it?
Who can abide that day? Great and very terrible. Who can abide it? See, so Moses said his army, right? We're going to identify who his army is, one aspect of his army. What verse you?
That was verse 11.
That was verse 11. Read verse 15 and 16 for me, same shot.
Blow the trumpet in Zion.
Do who?
Blow the trumpet in Zion.
Right.
Sanctify a fast. Call a solemn assembly.
Yeah.
Gather the people. Sanctify the congregation. Assemble the elders. Gather the children and those that suck the breast. Let the bridegroom go forth of his chamber and the bride out of her closet.
What verse is that?
16.
You just read 16? All right, so I just want to go into that showing still blowing the trumpet, gathering the people. You understand? Trip off all the different aspects of the trumpet and what it applied to. Now, we should have been raised celebrating this. You understand? Like, trip out by how much inspiration. This inspires you to want to be righteous. I want to be on that side. I want to be on that side in that day. You feel me? I want to fall on some weapons and not be wounded. Walls like men of war. I want to be in Yahweh's army. Yes. You see? It inspires you to be righteous. It inspires you to do all you can now so you can be resurrected and given that powerful, glorious, angelic, incorruptible body. See? Let's go identify one aspect of his army, 7, 9 through 14. And what we're going to do, we're going to just hit the trumpets on this one, 9 through 14. The 7-month feast, I mean, we can, what time is it? It's 5:30. What time we start about? We started right around 2 to be at 9th hour. 2, like we're almost at 3. Remember, we had did it. Yeah, that's over. All right, let's hit a couple more of these, and then what we gonna do, y'all willing, in the morning, probably, yeah, or maybe even later, we may go live again. We're gonna go into the atonement coming up right after the trumpets, and then we're gonna end it with the tabernacles. Here at 2.5, 3 hours. That's pretty good. I know my people. Y'all even watch no 6-hour clip, you know what I'm saying? Hey, dude. And that we're gonna keep it at that, but I want you to show the nation, you know what I'm saying, about the Trumps and all that. You understand? People, you know, the aspects of the Trumpets and what's coming up to your short leggers, you know what I'm saying? This is what we supposed to be doing. This is they supposed to know this. Inspire them to work righteousness. Inspire them to do what's right, Father. Inspire them so they can be on that side in that day. You don't want to be caught in that field. You don't want to be amongst the mighty men that's wailing, crying bitterly in that day. You don't want to be amongst the nations that's mourning in that day because they know, look, the jig is up. Anybody that's against the Most High gonna get put down, Hebrew or not. You got for us to get our kingdom, man. Let's not play around with this thing. Let's not play around. We got a few more scriptures because I want to go into the trumpets and how they start blowing. You know what I'm saying? That's dealing in Revelation. I'm going to go into the trumpets. At the last trump, the dead going to rise. And we shall be changed. So we seeing when we deal with 1 Thessalonians, that's the scripture the so-called Christians like to go to validate the rapture, right? But we seeing that about a trumpet being blown. We seen about the dead rising. And then those that are alive will be caught up in the clouds. So-called Sunday church stop right there and say, see, rapture. The scriptures like Matthew 24, 29 to 32. Tribulation. Trumpet blow, sun loses light, the moon don't give her light, and the stars fall from heaven. After that, then the Messiah sends his angels with the sound of a trump to gather his elect from the four corners. 15. It say, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, raised incorruptible, for this corruption must put on incorruption. Must put on immortality. That's what you getting caught up in the earth about. But that's after tribulation. Going anywhere before then. Go anywhere. And women who came and then died glorious deaths for the Most High. You understand? Was persecuted for this thing. Because what? You pay your taxes on time? Huh? That you pay your tithes on time? That you feel me? You do everything you do her that you good? No, you ain't been doing what your father say do. So it's gonna be a problem. Let's go into this army, and then we'll close out this aspect of it. And we may come back later on this evening or even early in the morning and just touch on, you know what I'm saying, the atonement and then the Feast of Tabernacles, which ends the 7th month feast. This right here. Ezekiel 37, 9 through 14.
Prophesy unto the wind, man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord of God, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live.
So if someone is slain, they're what? They're dead. So he said, breathe upon them that they may live. Resurrected. All right, come on.
So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them.
Yeah.
And they lived.
Yeah.
And stood up. Exceeding great army.
And exceeding who?
Great army.
We read in Joel that the Most High uttered his voice before his army. So he prophesied, the wind blew, they stood up, meaning they're resurrected. Spiritual aspect and the physical aspect. Us coming back into the knowledge of who we are. Grow no more. I'm an Israelite. Tribe of Yehudah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You start walking different, talking different, you know, ordering your affairs different. And also about us coming about our grave. Physically. You know what I'm saying? The resurrection, just like a Mashiach, the Messiah. All right? All right, what else to say?
Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel.
The exceeding great army, house of Yisrael. See? So those men we read about in Joel chapter 2 are out of the house of Israel. You feel me? Horses and all that, they play a part as well. But the lot may fall on one of these brothers to be part of that army. Climbing the wall like men of war, like a thief before. The world ain't never seen people like this before. In a powerful, glorious, incorruptible, immortal, spiritual body. In it before we transgress. Beautiful. What else to say?
Our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts. Therefore prophesy and say to them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, on my people, I will open your grave.
I will who?
Open your grave.
To open one's grave is to bring resurrection. Bring them up out the grave. I will open your graves. Go ahead.
Come up out of your grave.
Resurrection. Come on.
And
bring you into your land, because you're Israelites. Urge is waiting on you. Already got a land, a language, all that. But we talking about the new Jerusalem.
People in church read it.
It make all the sense. But again, it ain't for everybody. Yeah. What else to say?
You shall know that I am the Lord. I am the Lord. When I have opened your grave.
Yeah.
On my people.
Yeah. When I do that, when the Most High do that resurrection, we gonna know He's Yahweh. D is Yod Hey Wah Hey. Yah. I'm saying Yah, Yahuwah, Yahuwah, Yahweh. Different type of pronunciation. Yod Hey Wah Hey. The self-existent one. He shall be. All right, go ahead. He gonna put his spirit in us. Sound like them spiritual bodies, huh? You shall live. What verse you at? I dropped that. Let's go show these trumps real quick. Go ahead, finish it up.
In your own land. Then shall you know that I am the Lord. I, the Lord, have spoken.
That's beautiful. Then you gonna know when the resurrection, when them trumps blow, and our reality change in the moment, in the blinking of an eye, the last trumpet we put back on top. It ain't even gonna be no lip wrestling on who our Father is, man. We gonna know in that day. You understand? Just maintain and stay strong. Let's go into these trumps real quick. Revelation 8, 1-6, about these trumps. Because remember, we kept reading the trumpet gonna blow. Trumpet gonna blow. Then 1 Corinthians 15 gave the tip-off point. It said at the last trump. At the last trump. Okay. And for you non-messianics, y'all can't even put no lesson together like this dealing with the trumpets. I noticed. Because you ain't made the spiritual connection about the physical trumpets and the return of the Messiah and the regathering of the elect of Israel. You can't make the spiritual connection without what's called the New Testament. I mean, it's in the Old Testament as well. You understand? But your blinders, there's been so many blinders put over your eyes, you refuse to see the truth. The Lord at the right hand of Yah in the heavens. This is Psalm 110, verses 1-5. Verse 5 say, the Lord at your right hand will strike through kings in the day of his wrath. The Lord you read about in Zephaniah. Isaiah 13. You feel me? The Lord who will be striking through kings in the day of his wrath, who's coming with an army, that dark, great, and terrible day, who will be gathering the elect of Israel. You understand? Giving them their immortal, their incorruptible, their spiritual, powerful bodies. Right hand of the Heavenly Father in the heavens, wait until he get order from the Heavenly Father to make his enemies his footstool. That's why the nations are going to be angry. That's why the mighty man going to be wailing bitterly. You understand? It's the shake up. You understand? And we get put back on top. However, that testimony and you don't believe in the Messiah, this ain't for you. Because in your mind, you think Yahweh is going to vacate his throne in the heavens to come here. He's always sent message. The Most High don't get up off his throne. He's always sent message. Messenger. Whether it was the angel in the burning bush hollering at Moses, that wasn't the Father. That was an angel. Exodus 3, 1 through 6. And the angel told you, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So what angel was that? What angel has the right to say he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? What messenger of Yah? You see what I'm saying? You've been dealing with Hamashiach this whole time. If you just slow down and read the scriptures, even in Hebrew, it tells you. You understand? And y'all thwarted mind. You think the Father about to vacate his throne and do all that. The Father runs it all, man. He get an order and it get done. You feel me? And his top servant is the one sitting at his right hand right now as we speak, Hamashiach Yahushua, man. Yahushua, Hamashiach, Yeshua, Yahshua. You feel me? You read him in English as Jesus the Christ, the brother from the tribe, the revolutionary Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah, who soon will return to conquer all. His father. Heathens, don't it? And you mumble mouth non-messianics. Because you ain't got no part in this if you ain't bowed your neck in subjection to the Lord sitting at the right hand of the Father in the heavens. Old Testament, Psalm 110, 1 through 4. The Son born called Mighty God and Everlasting Father. Isaiah 9, 6 through 8. He born in Bethlehem, who shall rule my people Israel, whose goings forth is from everlasting. Who? Everlasting. The prophet Micah, chapter 5, 1 through 2. The rod out of the stem of Jesse, Isaiah 11, chapter 1 through 2. The suffering servant, he was wounded for our transgressions, Isaiah the 53rd chapter. And the righteous branch raised unto David, who will be called Yahweh Zidkenu, the Lord our righteousness. In his days, Israel and Judah shall be saved. You cut your own throat, right? If you're not bowing your neck in subjection to the Lord sitting at the right hand of the Father in the heavens, because the Father sent him. Time almost up for you non-messianics, man. Y'all better hurry up and get this thing together. Y'all know we ain't talking about no Christianity. We ain't talking about no white boy with a pamper on. Let's get this. Where we at? Yeah, Revelation 8. Revelation 8, 1 through 6. Negroes make me mad sometimes. Well, I'll be ready. What? Ready to snap on you, Negro. All right, Revelation 8. Revelation 8, 1 through 6. And we're going to end it with Revelation 11 chapter. Videos coming too. We're going to be going through the Hebrew, showing you that even in the Torah, the Tanakh was called the Old Testament. It prophesied a Messiah, man. Him that's spoken of in the New Testament, they need to be coming up with solid answers. We don't want to hear nothing about no coulda, shouldas, and wouldas. Salvation is on the line. You got that? What it say, love?
And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence. There was silence in the heavens.
When he had opened the seventh seal, right?
There was silence.
Right.
About the space of half an hour. And I saw the 7 angels who stood before God. And to them were given 7 trumpets.
To them were given who?
7
trumpets. Remember at the last trump is when the saints get gathered and Yah shall be gathered to them. You feel me? And the army come and the day of darkness and gloominess and
feel like in the wilderness, right? So even now, when it's gonna be like that again.
Yeah, trumpet's gonna blow. And more than anything, it's gonna be events that's happening to where you'll know it's trumpet's blowing.
We won't.
I mean, you never know. You never know. You may hear something, but what he gave us was signs. If that's going on, that's the trump one is blowing. You know what I'm saying? He gave us something to look for, not necessarily to hear, but to look. So 7 angels get 7 trumpets. So it's 7 trumpets. Right? What else it say?
The angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints, which was before the throne.
Now, trip off this. Even in the heavens, there's a temple. Like the temple that was here on earth, cosm be at the temple that's in the heavens. Because when it was time to pray, priests would go to the golden altar in the temple, burn incense, and as incense was going up, he would be praying. Same administration. Yeah, that's going into it being on the altar and all that, but nothing wrong with it. But it was certain incense that was getting burned. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Into was what was happening in the physical temple when it was here on earth. Priests go to the golden altar at the hour of prayer and burn incense. Chapter 1, like 5 through 13. That's what John the Baptist's father was doing. Incense at the hour of prayer. We see there's an angel in the heavens that has the same type of officiating. It wasn't made like no church on no corner. Different. Its vessels was different. Everything was different. Or the tabernacle. Tabernacle was a small blueprint of what it looked like in the heavens. See? And we're going to get into that when we get into the atonement aspect of this. The tabernacle aspect. We'll get to it just was a copy, a blueprint. When Moses got the blueprint for, he got it from the Most High. It wasn't just some random sketch. It was what the heavens looked like.
And the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before God out of the angel's hand. Censer and filled it with fire of the altar.
Yeah.
And cast it into the earth.
Yeah.
And thunder, and lightning, and earthquake.
Now who? Earthquake, huh? Angels putting down hits. It don't sound like angels are just over here just speaking soft to. These angels are putting hits down. Threw that into the earth. Thunderings, voices, and what? Even an earthquake, huh? What else to say?
7 angels and 7 trumpets.
Oh, if you say it's the last trump, well, we know that's after the 7th trump. All right. Now, let's read about Trump 1, verse 7. What does it say?
The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up.
Has that happened yet? So we can't say Trump won and blew already. As much as we want it to blow, as much as we like, come on, hurry up, we can't force prophecy. You see this happen, right? When you see hail and fire mingle with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, and the third part of the trees was burnt up. And all the green grass was burnt up. What about the second angel? Verse 8.
And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood.
The third part of the sea. Sea, no word. There is no word in the Bible, ocean. They get ocean from seas. Now, if you read seas in the scripture, it's talking about the oceans, the big bodies of water. So notice it say, what? And the third part of the sea became blood. That's on the entire earth. Bodies of water become blood. See that? What verse 8 say?
And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. Ships were destroyed. Okay,
so that means a third part of the creatures, no water, no life. Creatures that are in the seas or in the oceans, they're going to die. Destroyed. It says ships were destroyed. So you see that the angels and all hell is breaking loose. So notice it said after tribulation. You see? So nobody's going anywhere before then unless you die. Before all this. All right, now jump over to chapter 11 so we can show about the seventh trump. Chapter 11, let's read 15 through 18. Chapter 11, 15 through 18. We're gonna close out with Isaiah 58:1.
And the seventh angel sounded. And there were great voices in heaven.
Yeah.
The kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ.
See, so once the seventh trump blow, see what happened? Remember, it said, in the moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. And what has happened? The kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his anointed, and he shall reign forever and ever. You see that? Trump is when the dead get resurrected, fire gathered to them, world, or the kingdoms of the Most High and his Son. And they shall what? What does it say? And they shall what? And he shall reign forever and ever. As Trump, that's what this whole Feast of Trumpets is about. Trumpet blowing, the gathering of the Most High's elect, the resurrecting of those who have died in the Mashiach with this testimony, the dropping of the kingdoms of this world. The mighty men gonna wail, the nation's gonna be angry, but it's gonna be a beautiful thing. You feel me? You get your immortality, your incorruptibility, your power, spiritual bodies. You understand? And shall rule forever and ever. So, and that's what we look forward to. That's what we look forward to. That's what's coming. You understand? For those that are faithful in a Mashiach, who Yahweh sent his son, the Messiah. Period, point blank in the story. All right, what else does that say? Verse 17. Just read 17 and 18. 16 through 18, yeah.
20 elders which sat before God on their seats fell upon their faces and worshiped God, saying, we give thanks, our Lord God Almighty, which art and was and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and hast reigned. And the nations were angry. Come, and the time of the dead, they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets.
That you should give reward to your servants, the prophets. This is when everybody who have died with the truth, they reward. After the last trump. You understand? And that's what this feast coming up, September the 21st to sundown, September the 22nd. On Trumpets, it's called Yom Teruah. You know what I'm saying? The day of blasting. All of it is just a memorial what the Most High did for us, but for us to focus into the kingdom. Focus on what's coming. Day of darkness. The faithful in the Mashiach, dead, and those that are still banging, but it. On high is on his way back. In everlasting remembrance. Why wouldn't we rehearse the righteous acts of the Most High? Why? What sounds better than this? See, so and that's why we keep this in remembrance. You understand? In the past, but the trumpets will blow. We will be rewarded for our steadfastness and our due diligence. So there is no excuse. It's your fault. It ain't the Most High's fault. It's your fault. Right? Anybody fall off and they don't like what's being said, it's their fault. Take it up with the Most High. You got to push forward because this is the reward that we were created to receive. And if we don't receive this, it's just like a fire. That's all. That's all. Make a fire forever with the devil and his angels. That's it. Nothing to worry about, right? Nothing to worry about, right? You know, you was made for that, right? You're tough. I'm good. I'd rather be with the fathers. I'd rather be with the righteous. You understand? Go ahead and finish that off so we can close on up. And we're going to do Isaiah 58:1, one verse. And that's it.
And them that fear thy name, small and great.
That's right.
And should destroy them which destroy the earth.
Yeah, those that's destroying the earth, meaning the powers of this world, they going down, man. It's coming to the righteous elect, the prophets of the Most High, period, point blank in the story. And a lot of people don't like the Most High because he calls us and holds us to a high moral standard. Just speaking as your brother, I appreciate that from the Most High. Like, that's what's up. Go to a high standard. You a prince of the power, or you shall be a prince of power. Day. 58:1.
Cry loud, spare not.
Yeah.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression.
Lift up your voice like a flute, chapello,
A trumpet.
clarinet. Lift up your voice like a trumpet. Even if you ain't got no shofar, you was born with a trumpet. It's your voice, your mouth. You got a mouthpiece because she over Joan. I'm gonna know I got a trumpet. Yeah, because I'm gonna tell it. All right, you know that verse?
The house of Jacob, their king.
One more, 1 John 3:1-3. And that's the last one. I know I've been said there, but it is what it is. Yes. And y'all remember, keep this feast. You know, then tabernacles coming up, atonement, then tabernacles. We're gonna go ahead and drop the videos on them too, because those are very important. In this 7th month feast, the shadow plan of the redemption of God's elect. 1 John 3:1-3. The shadow plan of the Most High's remnant, his righteous elect, can be found in the 7th month feast. That's what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? And we just got all that from one trumpet. We're going to pull more scriptures for the atonement, show the shadow. You feel me? Show how I got to do with the kingdom and us being gathered. And then we're going to get into the tabernacle. What is the tabernacle? You still thinking TP? Tent. Yeah, we go out in the wood. We'll be camping this year. You know what I'm saying? Brothers out them kills, they order. You going camping here in Missouri and whatnot. But if you still stuck on a booth, a suit coat booth, and you ain't thought spiritually, what does this signify? Like, what is all this about? What are we gathering and rehearsing for? What is this really all about? Right? If you ain't figured that out yet, then it's time to do some more study. Because even the Feast of Tabernacles, the Chag Sukkot, Feast of Booths, have a spiritual meaning that got to do with what's coming. You feel me? More than what's behind us. All right, go ahead. 1 John 3:1-3.
Behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God.
You said, no, behold, what manner of love. You feel me?
Therefore, the world knoweth us not because it knew him not.
Yeah. That's right. So we ain't known because the world didn't know the Hamashiach. Because, you know what I'm saying, they ain't know him. But what love the Father done bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Feel me? B'nai Elohim. B'nai Elohim. The sons of Elohim. Sons of God. All right, what else to say?
All we the sons of God. And it does not yet appear what we shall be. We the
sons, we B'nai Elohim. You understand? Sons of Elohim, sons of God, but it don't appear yet what we shall be. That's why I'm telling, like, look, the power coming back to these sons. It's time now to start respecting what it is, especially if you got somebody in your life that's trying their best to do what this thing requires. It's time to start respecting. All right, later for the lip thumping. What else to say?
But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him.
When he shall appear, when the Son of God shall appear with his glorious, mighty army, we shall be like him. And how is he? Powerful, glorious, incorruptible. Death couldn't touch him or couldn't hold him. And when he shall appear, we shall be like him. Ah, that's beautiful. All right, come on.
For we shall see him as he is.
And we shall see him as he is. What else to say?
And every man that has this hope in him purifies himself.
Everyone that got this hope, we just read, you purify yourself. Because you hope in that which is everlasting. You believe in the truth. That's in that verse.
Even as he is pure.
Even as he is pure. Again, the trumpets is coming up, sundown, September 21st through the 22nd. You understand? Its significance is about ushering the day of the Messiah sent by Yah on high, a day of darkness, a day of gloominess, but it's about the resurrection of those who have died in the Mashiach. You feel me? Who have died in this truth. It's about the gathering of the elect. You understand? We all get our immortal, incorruptible, powerful, spiritual, never dying bodies. You understand? And then what? We rule this earth with a rod of iron. That's what's coming. Glory, immortality. You understand? And the kingdom of this world become what? The kingdom of the Most High and his anointed. That's what we just read. That's what that trumpets is all about. Everywhere we read about the day of the Lord or the resurrection of the dead, it got to do with a trumpet. 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 So when you keep in this feast of trumpets, even though we remember about what happened before, don't be stuck in the dead letter of the law. Think of the spiritual implications that it applies to. You understand? Because if you're so blessed, you shall be called one of the Most High's righteous elect and will be given the reward that we lost in the Garden of Eden, which was immortality, power, glory. Then it's time to be Yisrael. He shall be, or he shall rule. I'll be a prince of power. With that being said, all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High. Our elect Yisrael, that's the Most High, King of the universe, King of Israel. We messianic to the bone over here. So when honor and glory is only begotten beloved Son, right now as we speak, Yahoo. I'm your brother Malachi Maccabee out of the STL, Honor Humility STL. Serene, Order Melchizedek. I'm a beautiful real about the up and coming feast. I pray you all were edified as will. I shall view thine countenance shortly. Until the next time, Yah speed. Shalom.